making capital. This guy again. Hello and welcome to another episode of With Enough Prep Time. I'm your host, the very, very ill nerd man. Just actually was sick about like 4 times after waking up for some reason. Not sure what that is. Maybe it's a little bit of food poisoning there. But fuck it, we're here to talk Loki. A show, the show I don't like that I have talked the most about, I think ever. So sorry for being late. Hey, wow, they hunt in packs, don't they? These motherfuckers hunt in packs. All right, hey, how you doing, guys?
Hey, what's there, man? Hey, Yellow.
You.
Hey, Yellow. And they come out at night mostly. Anyway, what's going on, man? People have been triggered again just by a title. They don't even know what I'm gonna say, but they're triggered by the title.
Well, you said Loki's episode 6, embarrassing.
Yep, and I stand by it, but
there's not a lot of room for interpretation there, right?
I didn't even see your title yet.
You could use it to intentionally mean something else, but like it's pretty clear on face value.
Oh Lord, there, man. What is with you, man? Are you trolling again?
I'm not trolling at all. Actually, it's look. I'm gonna give an overview. I might as well just start now since you've come on. I'll give an overview of what I thought of today's episode. I thought today's episode was the most entertaining, probably outside of any episode which is focused on Owens, right? So the episodes focused on Owens are basically entertaining because Owens, he can pull off the delivery with the comedy, etc., etc. But in terms of what the show's story is, this was the episode that was the most entertaining episode. It wasn't great, but it certainly was the most entertaining. And I can't believe, and this is why I call it embarrassing, that it takes this long to get to an episode like this, which tells you the story, and you're right at the fucking end of the season. And they expect me, after jerking me off for 5 fucking episodes, after jerking me off for 5 episodes, to come back and wait for next season to fulfill this fucking storyline, which isn't exciting enough for me to like go, oh wow, I've got to run back to this boring ass fucking show that jerked me around for fucking 5 episodes. It's ridiculous. I think it is embarrassing, and it's indicative of what and I'm going to give Feige some compliments after this, but I think it's indicative of what Feige often does, which is give you these things that are just empty promises of a great time to come, a great storyline to come, but he neglects often to ensure that the story that I'm watching right now is fucking entertaining. And so the stuff with Kang, not sure about the casting of this guy, didn't really like his performance so much. But in terms of that last 10 minutes and what goes on in there, and when you find out about like what's happening with the time, the multiverse branching off, Loki comes in, the guy doesn't even know who Loki is anymore. That was interesting. And then they cut the show off forever, more until the next season. I'm just like, that's not good enough, guys. Really isn't good enough. So that's why I think it's embarrassing.
Yellow, you want to go first, or you prefer I go first?
You could go first, man, Warren.
First of all, guys, I was just happy we didn't get Ralph Boner. That's the first thing I'm gonna say, because Yellow was on it, you were on it before, Norman. I've been saying the whole Kang thing, and
Mm.
Jonathan Majors was cast and everything. So for me, it felt good, as I am as you guys know, and from past streams, even in the messages we had on Twitter, I'm a big Kang fan. I've seen Jonathan Majors in Lovecraft on the HBO, and it's pretty okay. So I mean, I'm used to that like style.
Mhm.
Um, Now, when it comes to the episode, it was a good origin for people that have no idea who this character were going to be, that they're setting up for the MCU, because they're
Yeah.
essentially setting up the Kang War, War of the Kangs, or Kang Dynasty. It was a 14-part issue series that occurred in with the Avengers, um, which is nice. That means that we're gonna either see they're gonna be fight him in different time periods and realities or whatever. So I like what they did there. Um, was
This
it the
cat,
best?
by the way, Warren, this cat is a good actor, right? The guy playing
Yeah,
Kang.
yeah,
Because
Jonathan
I think
Majors.
I even saw him on Lovecraft.
Yeah,
So
yes,
this acting that he's doing in this episode, this is specific to the tone of the Loki show, right?
yeah. I because even in the
What?
comics, Kang. No, 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 not the not I mean I wouldn't say to the Loki show
What was the
because
point you were making before he interrupted you to ask you a question that you can't answer? What was the point you were making before that?
I just I just lost my point because you.
You were talking about the Kang Wars and the Kang
Oh
Dynasty and
yeah,
where that's where they're
yeah.
going with the
So,
MCU, right?
so I was going about the review of the episode. So, the episode was talking about basically giving us an origin story about who he was, because a lot of people don't know. Like, for instance, when we saw Thanos, I'm sure nobody knew who that guy was at the end of Avengers, who turned his face and smile, and that was
Mm-hmm.
nice to see that one, he explained his story very easily. Two, he gave hints about himself. He says, "I was once a ruler, once this. I was a conqueror." So I like how he referenced himself without actually giving himself the title, right? Which says to me that was probably like Immortus or Ramatut, one of the versions of Kang that had a problem with himself. As regard to Sylvie and Loki, that was kind of weird. The nail biter was with Ravonna. That was interesting because that means that um, she was planted in too. I think that they left us on a good cliffhanger, and the show was this episode. I give it a 8. I do
No.
have issues with it where the exposition was long and it was kind of. I have to agree with you, Nerd Man. He seemed kind of goofy a little bit, but I get it. Like think about the character. He's been like the way I thought about it is if you've
They're
seen
gonna
all
see.
if you've seen
Mm,
all possible outcomes of everything, that would also drive you mad, and that would make you. He said he was tired, and I could relate to that. When you've done so much and you've been preparing for something, you're tired. You just want it to happen. So I
yeah,
and
but
there
I
comes a point.
also, yeah, go on.
No,
I was
no.
going to say I also think he's a variant, right? So that he can just completely change his whole style in Ant-Man. He's a good enough actor, right?
Well, it's going
Where
to be
he,
a different.
he
It's going to be a different guy in it, man.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, he
So
is a variant. He said it. He was like, "Y'all gonna have to deal with other variants of me. I'm dead now." So it's very clear that he's like,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. So I think he's just going to switch up his style and become more sinister
And
when he
and al-
actually can.
and also, it was announced that Loki will be in the multiverse of madness. So that's also, we have to take that into account as well.
It's not announced. That's not confirmed by Marvel. That's it's a reputable source. I think it was like Variety or Deadline or something. I can't remember. It was a reputable source, but it wasn't. It's not announced. That's a different. It's a different thing. But it's probably right, and it makes sense based on the story that they gave us in the show.
But I'm done, by the way.
Oh, you're done. Hey, K Dot man, how's it going, bro?
What's up, guys? What's up,
So-
Yellow, Warren?
You
So
know,
just
good.
real quick for Warren, what else about specifically the performance of Jonathan Majors? Because that's what Nerdman was asking you about.
Oh, I mean,
Because like you're saying, it made sense, but how did it connect
okay,
for you?
so
Did it land for you?
so in the comic, Kang is never. I've never seen Kang like he's like a Luthor, but he's very smart and he can be very cocky and he can be very sarcastic. And when he gets upset, it's more like that in the moment rage because he's always confident because he knows.
Warren, you're a
He
bit off with your
my
mic, bro.
oh
I
yeah
don't know
yeah
if you can.
A little bit robotic.
oh yeah my mic has been acting silly. I might have to change and use Bluetooth. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you better now, man.
Mhm.
Go on, bro.
Okay, so basically in the comics, Kang is a very cocky. He knows outcomes, so the way he was acting was very eccentric, which I could understand because given that he knows, like for instance, when he took out the whole um the the pamphlet or the book saying, "I already know what you're gonna do," of course you're gonna laugh because they think that they can outsmart someone that is like basically 30 steps ahead of them. So this was comic book um relative to me. I've never seen him be like super serious only when the Avengers foil a plan and he gets upset, but most of the time he's very cocky and arrogant and he even makes sly remarks too. Not like not I'm trying to find a character that's funny but evil. He's not like that. It's not dark humor. It's more like I always have one up on you, basically. So that's why it felt relative to me with when watching his performance. And given the fact that he's seen all outcomes and everything, I attest that to the way he was acting as well. Because
So you're saying it makes sense to
I'll
you?
tell you what,
yeah,
Warren. I'm so happy for you that like this character has come in finally because like I could tell how excited you are by him. Like he's your favorite villain or something in MC
uh,
in the Marvel.
yeah, because I love like Back to the Future and time anything with like they have to do like Doctor Who time stuff. So it was fun. And then like my problem too, what I had with MCU fans is like, sorry for coming in real back now. Hold on.
Yeah, you're breaking up real bad there, man. We could.
Yeah.
Do you want to fix? All right, you. All right, go on. Yeah.
So like MCU fans, no, someone else could go.
Whoop. Sorry, you're fine now if you want to finish, but you were just breaking up
Or
before.
one you
Oh,
did.
MCU fans, their problem is that like basically they said, "Oh, we saw Thanos. That's it." And I'm like, there's a whole plethora of people out there, and like, how can you one up Thanos? And I'm like, there's a plethora of villains that are out there that you can choose from and stories. There's a reason why comics have lasted so long for Marvel. So like to write them off and like to say, oh, the MCU is done, it was just a disservice to me. And to see the Avengers history and to see like the many stories that I've read throughout the comics with involving Kang and how basically the Avengers basically never really beat him. It's always like a draw. Like they've never really
Mm,
beat him. It's like, oh, you foiled my plan, haha, get away, blah, sort of thing. Like they beat him, but they don't beat him. So
mm,
and then the ramifications of time always can make everything loopy. And I love his technology because he's from the 31st century. Like we saw his technology on the desk where he literally showed his life and on from his little bracelet he had.
Yeah,
Like
but we seen that in Wakanda.
no, but
mm.
his technology is way past that, dude. Like I'm sure Wakandan couldn't figure out
Sure, but
members.
like visually, it
Yeah,
did the same
Yeah,
thing.
they did look
right,
like some Wakandan tech.
right.
Mm.
So that's what I like about him personally, and he ties to the Young Avengers as well.
Fantastic, man. K Dot, do you want to jump in quickly and just tell me what your overall opinions of the episode, and then
Yeah. Hey,
Yellow.
Mind you, it was a lot of talking, a lot of talking, but something we needed. I like that. King did explain his little backstory of his. I like that. For me, I like Jonathan Majors. He was great in Lovecraft Country. I think here it was like watching a kid who is like he ate all that candy and stuff, and they just too hyper, and you're just waiting for them to stop being so hyper. It's like relax.
Yeah, he was a
I
goofball,
think
dude.
and look, I look at it like this. His Kang been there for a while. Maybe he is going just a little bit mad, trying to keep the universe intact as he wants to. and stuff, but I don't know. He was doing a little bit too much with his acting. You know, a little too much, a little overacting. But still, this is not the king that it doesn't look like this is the king that's going to be the villain king, because there's multiple different kings. We're going to see his other
He's
versions.
dead, so
yeah,
and that's what his whole thing was.
Remember,
he was like, if you kill me, a bunch of them are going to show up. He wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about other versions of him.
Yeah, so this is only one version. This was going to be interesting about Jonathan Majors. He's going to be playing different versions of Kang, so he's going to add. He's going to have to change up his character a lot. You know, all these Kangs are going to have something similar, but he's going to have to do something different with each of them. One Kang might be super serious. Yeah.
How much Kang do you think we're going to get then?
I'll be really honest. I really do not think we're going to see like all the different versions. I think we're going to see like maybe 2 or 3 at most. No, 2 at most. 2 different versions at most. I'll really be honest. We're not going to see like
2 additional ones.
Yeah, we're not going to see like, because there's like 9 Warren, right?
Yeah, there's 9. But I can definitely see 4. 4 I can definitely see.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see that the main king with the blue mask and stuff. We're going to see that one for sure. He's going to be obviously the villain.
We're gonna get Kang load of Kang. We're gonna get a lot of Kang, I think.
You know what? And I kind of like in this episode, you know, Sylvie, she was kind of getting on my nerves because I was like, Sylvie, this man is the only one with all this information, but I understand why she didn't want to believe him, but she was just being so ignorant that she just wanted to kill him so bad. But hey, I like that she fucked up the MCU. It's all her damn fault. So hey, in the future, you know, if she gets killed off, I'll be kind of happy. And now
I still don't like her.
I still, you know, I don't. I still like her to an extent. And you know, her Loki being the leader of the TVA now, that's pretty much what he set up. He's going to be a leader of TVA. I got to give them props. They set up the villain pretty quick for the next the I'm gonna call it the multiverse saga. They're already getting in there. And Loki's going to be obviously a hero now. He's going to be trying to get his army together, and we going to get they're trying to get the end game for this phase really quick, because they actually teased the villain faster than usual. We only had like 4 MCU products so far before they already teased the villain. Yeah, they get
4
in
shows. There. Yeah, well, 3 shows in total now.
Yeah, 3 shows, including Black Widow and Far From Home 5. Yeah, 6. Okay. Yeah. They got in there pretty quick.
Yeah. I mean, my opinion.
One last thing.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be the case, and I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they didn't do no Ralph Boner shit. We learned something new. They gave us a new character, new villain, Kang. I was shocked that they did it, but I was like, I'm glad they did this. I'm glad it wasn't no variant Loki as a villain or Mobius as the villain of the TVA, like MSK was saying. I'm glad it was Kang, because it all was lining up to be Kang. I'm glad they did it. They didn't show us the Kang we're going to be fighting, but they showed us one of the Kangs.
Yeah. I mean, I can't get too excited about that reveal because I don't know who the fuck Kang is. If I hadn't have been on there every week with you guys, I wouldn't have known that that's an exciting news. You know, it's only Warren filling me in, like, and it seems therefore like fairly predictable in a way. But again, if Kang is worth it, I mean, if he's this badass villain, then fine. I don't care if it's predictable.
I mean, if you look at it like this, no man. If you look at it like this, he's definitely with the power he has. He already won up Thanos with the Infinity Stones. Like with the technology he has, literally the pruning devices. They have these little bombs that can kill a multiverse with ease. Boom, just kill off whole multiverse.
Well,
he did.
Wait, let Yellow speak after.
At this moment, he's going to be a big threat to me.
Let me get Yellow to jump in on here quickly, man.
It's very hard for me to come to a conclusion on this episode. While I love the story that they gave me, I hated the fact that they just sat and told it to me the whole time. While it was an interesting performance, even though I feel like Jonathan Majors, this version of whoever it is, He Who Remains, this version of Kang the Conqueror, or the Kangs, whoever they are, right? This version of him was goofy. Fully 400% agree. I was like falling in and out, but as soon as I fell out, he would bring me back in. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was really just maybe it was a lack of development from a performance standpoint, but overall, I didn't find it believable. I found it to be performative, you know, and whilst I understand how being in charge of everything forever would make you crazy, I didn't buy that. That's what that was. So I struggled with that. I hate when you just exposit at me. I don't like it. I don't care how interesting it was. Whilst I loved everything that he said, I hated that that's how we received it. He just said that our two main characters sat down, Matrix
Yeah, you should
Reloaded
have
all over
seen
again, the
that. You
architect
should have
scene,
seen
just
that.
our
Yeah.
two. Well, no, but then it's like, then it's exposition that's just narrated over some kind of CGI animated sequence that I probably wouldn't care that much about either.
No,
You know,
no,
it would have
no.
been
I
better.
mean, you should have seen it, like literally been in the 31st century and seen this guy's origin, hopefully in like in an Ant-Man movie or, you know, in this, whichever way they
Oh, no,
wanted
we ain't
to
gonna
do
see
it.
his origin again.
I would have rather see the shit. Like, hey, what is the 31st century like? What's his technology like in the 30s?
Sure.
I think we will see
Sure, but they
glimpses
didn't.
of that in
But they
Ant-Man.
didn't
But
have
like,
that. They
you're
didn't
right
have that for
about
this series. They didn't have that for
yeah.
this series. What they could have done was they could have had our characters figure out some of this stuff and then just let him give them the final piece that ties it all together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As opposed
Yeah,
to
sure.
having him do the gigantic info dump at the mystery, 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 mystery. Hey, we realize everything that we thought up until this point is a lie. Now finally explain everything to us. It's like, no. That's not really a well handled mystery in my opinion. I don't
It,
like that it's all set up for the rest of the MCU. The conclusion of this story is set up for something else. Not like there's a conclusion and then there are threads to tie up somewhere else that could lead to something else. The conclusion of this story is all just set up, and that makes me leave it feeling lacking, right? The action sequence between Sylvie and Loki was great. I love the
that
Silky
was
action
the best
sequence.
action sequence of the whole.
It was
fucking
great. I loved it.
series.
I liked seeing Ravonna Renslayer acting again, because the last episode, I don't know, you know, maybe it was a quarantine episode, like I keep saying, because it just didn't look good. It didn't work. This was a little better, but then with her story, it's nothing. There's literally nothing. They give us nothing. They give us to be revealed, to be continued. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like that. They revealed that she's a guidance counselor or something. Don't care. All of the different timelines, obviously the implications that the end of this episode has on the MCU going forward, very interesting. I am very excited to go see, even more excited now to go see Doctor Strange 2, to go see No Way Home, to go see the Eternals even, because they're gonna have to address this in some way, right? To go see what the fuck else is going to definitely deal with
Ant-Man and the Madness. Multiverse.
care much about
You mean Shang-Chi?
him.
Ant-Man.
No.
Quantumania.
I guess
there's-
Ant-Man would be the one, but I don't really care about that. And
Yeah.
I'm interested to see the different versions of Kang. Like, I'm interested to see the different variants, but how long can you really do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, how many different movies do we see another Kang and he's like either explaining something to us or warning us about some other guy, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe he's the bad guy, you know, who knows? But how many times can you really do that in an interesting and entertaining way?
Well, this actually brings me to something that I'm very impressed by. Not necessarily by this show, but by the whole of what we've got from the MCU in Phase 4. And I'm going to have to give Kevin Feige props on this. One, we've got stuff that is really tonally different, which I find much better than how he was going with things before. I mean, it's still got some MCU humor and stuff. The villains are improving, which is good. But in general, you've got very tonally different things, but really, really interwoven and interconnected together. So like Black Widow has stuff from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Falcon and the Winter Soldier in it. and that's interwoven in a way that it's really, really connected. Like it is really telling one story. Same with this thing now, and these future movies, Multiverse of Madness, etc. It used to be, I felt like they would tack something on at the end, which is just leading to the next movie, as opposed to this is like really a story that lines up, almost on top of each other, that they're telling a whole, like a comic book is essentially.
Yeah,
like,
but that stopped. The attacking stuff onto the end stopped at the Avengers. That stopped as soon as that Avengers movie happened. It became more and more and more of what you're talking about there, with the storylines actually weaving into other movies.
Yes and no, but I think this is doing it much better. So it feels like, like you're reading a kind of event, like something. I know that you did that have that leading up to an event, but the event was rather simple. Whereas this leading up into the multiverse, everything is touching upon it, and not just like towards the end of a show. It's like all through the show you're leading up to this event. The only problem I have with it is, again, with this particular show, unlike WandaVision and unlike Falcon and Winter Soldier, it does seem to me like they saved everything for the last episode. They really did. It's like empty gesture throughout the season, very boring episodes, and then right at the end, and this is where I think it's kind of like embarrassing. You expect me to like be excited about this show that has bored me a lot of the way through it, just because you tack on something interesting in the last fucking 5 minutes. And I don't think this episode was like, massively entertaining. As you said, it was mainly exposition, which, it told an interesting story, but you've got a goofy performance telling you that story. You've got the same problem I have with this lady Loki, Sylvie, whatever she wants to call herself character. So it was really just those last 5 minutes that intrigued me. And I'm like, I'm not coming back to your show for 5 minutes at the end, because you could just do the same thing to me again next season.
I'm glad. Thank you. Please do not return. Good. I don't want to hear you trash the show anymore. But
I'm not trashing the show. I'm not trashing. I'm just saying how it is.
What you did. No. What you did every episode until this point. But I agree that they mishandled the I don't even know what it is. The information, it's all set up. The whole series is set up, and I don't like that. It's just really just what it is. I don't like that the whole series, because all of the stuff. Now, granted, they're gonna get into it more next season, but there's nothing about what happened in this season feels satisfying to me.
I feel like they could have taken out that whole episode where Loki and her are on the train. Almost everything from that episode could have been taken out. I see very, very little payoff in that episode, considering they told Lady Loki's story later, and they could have used that to tell another post episode after this. After what just happened now.
We needed the. I disagree with that, but that's not really what we're here to talk about. Right? We're talking about
or they could have truncated it to something, so that you could move on to something.
They absolutely could have taken a lot of these episodes and cut them down into lesser episodes. Absolutely. But we needed Loki and Sylvie's relationship to grow so that it makes sense at the end when they actually, when their different natures clash with each other. So, but
a lot of that was setting up a romantic relationship that really doesn't fucking work. They could have just cut that romantic relationship out.
I disagree that it doesn't work.
Thing.
Sure, it could have worked either way. That's not the point, though, right? We needed that time for that relationship to develop. No matter what the nature of their relationship is, these two characters had to trust the other one. They had to start to open up in that way, and we needed that time for that to develop. Lest people would be like, "Why did they change their minds about how they felt about stuff?" We needed them to grow with each other. We needed that to happen. So that's what mostly happens in that episode.
Well, I still think okay, like taking 5 minutes or so to like put on a shawl or whatever over Lady Loki. It's just like that's more for the romantic side of the relationship rather than this and take trust kind of issue that you're talking about that needed to grow. There
That's
were
a
just
different episode.
parts. Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
There were
But
parts
I
of
disagree with that
this
too.
thing. There were parts of this thing that just could have been truncated, shortened, so we could have
Well,
another episode really to
100.
just explore what just fucking happened. And then you can leave it on a cliffhanger. And I think this cliffhanger was just it's bullshit. I mean, like really to put it at the end of the season.
So you're saying give us more time to see the consequences of the multiverse.
Right. Which is why
Yeah.
we all watch the show anyway, right? We didn't really
Yeah.
see much regarding actual exploration of a multiverse.
That would have absolutely. Well, I mean, if you came in expecting it to be Quantum Leap, then that's your fault, right? Because that nothing about the show beforehand told you that was going to happen. But after the multiverse was opened up, I think it would have been much more conclusive. It would have felt like a story completed if we had saw more of the consequences of the multiverse as opposed to just Mobius doesn't recognize who Loki is. Dun dun dun. Loki will be back for season 2. It really felt like that kind of that TV trope where the first season is really just to get everybody to fall in love and feel like they have to come back to see what happens next, right? To ensure that there's a second season. But it's not. It's just I don't know. It didn't work for me. It didn't work. But again, I love the story. I love the reveal of a version of Kang, right? I love that. I love the story that he told us, how all of this came to be. It makes perfect sense. It lines up, and I really appreciated it. I hate that he had to sit and tell us. I hate that he had to say. It took me a while to. Last night, I couldn't even understand what I was looking. Or 12 hours ago, however fucking long ago it was, I couldn't really even process what I had seen because the sense of satisfaction was completely overshadowed by the desire to see what happens next. In most of these movies, you know that there's going to be more, but you're satisfied with the story that you got. Even with the other 2 series, you know that there's going to be more, but you're satisfied with the story that you got. In this one, you know that there's going to be more. I just wasn't satisfied with the story that I got. I loved a lot of the stuff that happened along the road, but I needed that denouement that made me feel like I had just finished something, and we didn't get that. And it just left me lacking.
Could it be that, I mean, I get what you're saying, and I'm not trying to justify what I'm about to say. It's just
sounds like you're about to.
No, I'm gonna ask. Do you think it's because they knew that they did it second season? That's why they did it the way they did. I'm not saying yes or no to. I'm not saying I agree with it or not. I'm saying the way they ended it. Did they go within? Do you think they went in with that plan? Like, hey, we don't want to like close it because like there's no second season for any of the 2 prior shows, as we know so far. The only one that was always guaranteed was Loki season 2. So my question to you is, do you think that had to play a factor in the last episode?
Sure.
This season was absolutely made to set up the rest of the MCU. That's what its job was. And much to what
commercial.
And exactly to what Mermaid was saying before is the narrative was sacrificed for that end. And I hate when the narrative is sacrificed to set up something else.
Yeah, that's what I said on our last stream. Like, we know all these shows and movies will set up the next thing, but as a product by itself, you need to be able to stand alone and be good on your own. Like, you need to be a little fulfilling on your own. I mean, Loki episode 6. I mean, it did surprise me in a sense, but
I was surprised. I swear to God, it was another Loki, and they were pointing to Kane the entire time, and I appreciate that they were like, "Yes, guys, it's not Mephisto. It's really Kane. We were doing it on purpose. Here we go." And it's not really Kane, but it's a version of him. We were doing it on purpose. Here we go. And I loved when he said, "They call me ruler. Some call me conqueror." He kind of like made fun of it because everybody was like, "It's Kane the Conqueror." You know what I'm saying? So it's like I really appreciate all of that stuff, but I hated that it was just 20 minutes of Just sit down and listen, children, while I tell you a story. Like I'd never ever want that to happen. But I'm also like super sensitive to exposition. If a movie they start telling me something for 2-3 minutes, I'm like, all right, okay, let's let me figure it out. You don't hold my hand through this let me figure it out. I want to, I want the story to kind of
Ferment.
seep into me rather than beat me over the head with itself. But
Well, I will say that if we look at the slate, I expect to, well, we know we're gonna see him in Quantum Mania, right? For sure. Like it's 100% because he was announced for that. Um, he might show up in Multiverse of Madness. He might show up in No Way Home too. Uh, for sure, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him in Fantastic Four as well. Um, because of the relationship with him and Mr. Fantastic.
yeah, but now you're talking. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I think Kang. I mean,
And
I don't
mutants
know.
too.
You have him. He comes up. He shows up every once in a while. He gets away or whatever, or maybe they defeat that, and then in the end, because we know Fantastic Four is coming at the end of this phase, right? They keep on showing us that goddamn four.
And he
So
could
in
be in
the
the
end, you
mutants.
have that be the movie where they like, hey, we finally stopped Kang for good. Oh, welcome to the family, Fantastic Four. It's a pleasure to have you. That would be interesting. But every time that they show a different Kang, it to me, we'll see how they handle it. But I'm concerned that it then lessens the impact of this character,
I
right?
mean,
I think this is a great introduction, even though I didn't buy the performance as much as I should have. I think this is a great introduction, especially when you consider the whole variant aspect of it. But the performance was lacking, right? For me, anyway. I didn't believe it. I know a lot of people didn't have a problem with it. There were times the shit he was saying would pull me back in, but then his performance would drop me right back out. You know what I mean? So, so because of that, I'm excited to see his next performance as this character, right? The completely different, however different it is. I'm excited to see those things, but how many times
Well,
can you
I
do that
hope
until
it's
I'm like,
different.
please stop? Because when I look at it, will be that's the point of it. If I look at the Loki's portion of episode 5 of this, I didn't like any of that. I didn't. Crocodile Loki sure is cute. I don't care. President Loki did nothing. All of the other Old Man Loki was cool at the end. Like
No,
I
he
didn't
wasn't.
care about any of that. No, Old Man Loki was cool at the end when he did the illusion thing, and he's
When he
glorious
did the
purpose, and he cries
illusion,
and
but
fades away.
his performance was, normal.
At the end, his performance at the end when he was crying and he was like glorious purpose. You said no to that.
I didn't. It didn't until you just said it. I didn't even think about it, to be honest. But
Well, that's
yeah,
probably
okay.
because you were doing the dishes while you were watching Loki. But when
No,
I gotta be
no.
when we clearly when we did the Loki variant stuff, it wasn't very good. That's just how I felt. I love Sylvie and I love Loki. The
I
rest of
think it'll
them
be
I
good.
could give a shit about. And I'm worried that the same thing will happen with Kang because the cheap laughs that the MCU goes for. Because of that kind of thing. The playing to the lowest common denominator that the MCU goes for. The reason why none of the villains are good. Because you can't develop interesting main characters and protagonists and interesting villains for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just I'm concerned that they will ruin it because that's what they have done more often. And as much as I love these movies and they're more entertaining than they are bad, the villains are more bad than they are entertaining. That's just what it is. So I can't be excited about the future of Kang because of that.
What do you reckon to that then, Warren, man?
I think say you'll
All
be
right,
back.
cool. Go, Warren.
So me personally, I think I'm not. I'm not gonna say I'm not worried, but I'm okay because I know how the villain operates and what he does and how he manipulates and how he can be in plain sight and how he works and his use of technology and all that stuff. So for me, I'm not too concerned with that aspect. It can be a bit worrying, which I understand. Because the MCU villains in other movies haven't been as good. But we have to take into account that this is probably going to lead up to a eventual new Avengers sort of being formed as well to fight this guy because he's going to be on that level. Um, but that's far into the future.
But that's
Uh,
all based off stuff that you know about Kang, and I think that, like I said, I think they did a good job in introducing the character. But all of that stakes, all of that weight, all of that gravity, and you know that from the comic books. Those of I didn't read a whole bunch of Kang comic books. I'm aware of his character, and all of the normies, like Nerman, they have no
yeah,
connection to any of that. You
I
I
know?
love the
agree.
fact I'm a normie.
I mean,
All right.
that's why I think that's why, and I'm not agreeing with the expository. That's why they did the expository. I think for the normies, because they're like,
Yeah,
who the fuck is Kang? That's basically they because unless you like me and you read it, they don't know who.
of course,
They don't really get it. So
of course.
that's how I feel. I mean, I think the next few the slate that they have for this year is going to be really important. It makes me wonder about how Eternals is going to play out, because that stuff that's like out there and beyond all that sort of cosmic-y and controlling advanced technology and all that stuff. So it makes me more excited for that movie, because I saw that one teaser and I was like, I don't know about this movie. That was the one movie on this slate this year that I'm like looking like this might be a 4 out of 5 movie for me. But maybe that's me jumping the gun there. But that's how I
Well,
feel.
I'm excited for the so tonally different Black Widow. I'm excited for the films. Why is everyone so shocked? I'm excited for the films.
No, we were having trouble.
Because
you were breaking up, so we were having trouble understanding you. But
was
now
I
you're back
breaking?
good, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. So I was saying that I'm very excited for how tonally different everything has been. I like the fact that each show and the movie Black Widow had its own voice, kind of style, even its own genre in a way. And I'm excited to see that being played around with more. And I'm hoping, things like Shang-Chi, things like Eternals, and, the Spider-Man movie, for instance, hopefully they are going to feel really different and feel like they've got a directorial voice. And that for that reason I'm like, hey, MC actually doing something. Now, I haven't liked any of the shows, but at least they've been different tonally. They've been different genres. They're trying to reach out to different kind of, so for instance, this Loki show seems like it's going for like the Doctor Who crowd, for instance. That's interesting, so people who like that kind of stuff, maybe they'll really dig this Loki show. But I'm more into the, stuff like Black Widow. So they got me by appealing to me with that. Probably Eternals as well will be something that appeals to me. So that's I'm excited for the MCU forward. And I do like this as a setup, like what Loki kind of, as much as I rag on the show, that last 5 minutes, what it kind of set up, going forward is exciting. I really do think it's exciting. I just hope that, the Kang thing, they take it a little bit more seriously with the other variants or versions of him, because I can't deal with him like, clowning around like, I don't know, almost like a pantomime villain kind of thing. As opposed to being a serious threat like Thanos was.
You're saying what? You're saying that the future, if he acts the same way, you won't like that?
Yeah, if he acts the same way, I won't like it. Like clearly,
Yeah, he won't do that. Just
but I don't think it. No, I don't think he will. I think this was specific to the tone of this show, because I think the guy is a good actor. From what I've seen, I even remember the first episode of Lovecraft, wasn't he? Because I remember seeing him. I remember his face from something. And I've only seen the first episode of Lovecraft. And if it was that actor, then he's a good actor. So
You only watched the first episode. You didn't watch the first two. The first two, the best. You got to watch the first two,
all right.
and
I
then that
watched the
story. That's
first.
a complete story.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. It didn't, blow my mind the first bit of what I saw. So, any more on this, or can we move on to Don Cheadle? Basically responding to getting an Emmy nomination.
Yeah, let's move on to Don Cheadle, and
yeah.
I want to go first because I got to get out of here. So
Yeah, that's fine.
No problem. So Don Cheadle gets Emmy nomination for The Falcon and Winter Soldier. I don't know. There's been a few MCU. Can't see any perform any specifically that I would have given an Emmy nomination to, but I can find out which ones have got Emmy nominations. But he's had a few people come at him about this for getting an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Drama Series. And he says, thanks, well wishers, sorry, haters, agreed. I don't know what that means. Haters, I guess. I don't really get it either, but on we go. That was his response.
Yeah,
which
the internet is nuts, bro.
Yeah, which at least is fair to him, because I don't understand it either. And, it's fair of him, to be real. This guy is an actor who definitely has the chops to deserve an Emmy nomination for his various kind of performances. Yeah, I'm sure he has. And he's a great enough actor to get it. But what he did in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I don't know where or at what point they thought that was Emmy worthy. They usually nominate an episode. So what do you guys think? Yellow first.
I think that when Don Cheadle showed up in that first episode to give Sam the I understand being black in America talk thing, the subtle way how he did it, because he didn't say ever, I understand being black, I get it, fam, but we knew that's what he was there to do. I fucking loved it. When he hit him with the nose rub while Sam was like, yeah, I feel like I'm doing the right thing. He hit him with the, let's just talk with me for a second. Walk with me real quick. I'm like, oh man, that was so good. It was perfect. And fucking Don Cheadle deserves all of the awards. This is a weird one. This one doesn't make any sense. He was in there for 2 minutes. We had Carl Lumbly in there giving a goddamn performance for the ages, fam. Playing Isaiah Bradley, telling that story, and also showing through the acting. Carl Lumbly, he's been doing this for a very long time. He knows how to hit each of those beats, and he does it. And he pulls stuff out of Sam that I think surprised Anthony Mackie. Right, because it pulled performance out of him in a way that I don't think we've ever seen anybody do in the MCU. So or really anyway, I can't think of it. He certainly wasn't 8 Mile, but let me not, I don't have to take shots at him to make my point, right? It's just such an amazing thing. And if we are guest actor, that's what that role was. The Isaiah Bradley story was a guest appearance on that thing. That's the guy who should have gotten this nomination. Why didn't it? Well, I'm inclined to think that it's all of the anti-American propaganda rhetoric stuff that they were like, this made me uncomfortable, so I don't know if it's not a slave story, so why are we talking about black exploitation in this way?
But I don't know. I agree with that.
That's the whole. I don't care if you agree. I don't care. I know you don't. I'm care, right.
But I'm here to fucking disagree.
But that's the. I'm not finished talking yet. But that's the whole tip of me, though. So who knows? That's probably a bit too far. But I know I'm right at the same time.
No, I don't think you're right about that. I think there's and I'm not even. I think the Emmys at this point in time is quite comfortable with that politics. So I'm not that they're wrong for doing so, but I do think they're quite comfortable with that kind of politics at the moment. I really think this is an MCU suck off. I'm sorry, there's not a single.
All right, okay, cool, but that's no bullshit. The Carl Lumbly performance, that's the one.
I don't even think that. I'm not. I mean, I'd have to look through TV shows to see guest actors, and what the competition is. But I know there haven't been many TV shows that have come out because COVID and whatever, but
Well, this is no, but this is
I'll
specifically.
be
Hold on, calm down, calm down. This is specifically the limited series, though. So this is a specific kind of like genre,
right. No, I know,
right? So,
I know.
all right, cool.
And I'm still saying that surely amongst the shows that came out, again, I have to look at it. I've watched a few that have been much, much better than the MCU shows, just in
This year?
general.
Limited
Yeah.
series.
Limited series. I've watched a few that have been much,
Name
much
one.
better than it. There was that one with Hugh Grant, and what was it? I always forget her name. But I'm pretty sure that was this year. It was
You're
Hugh
talking about
Grant, and he's acting he's like a psychopath or whatever.
You're talking about The Undoing.
The Undoing, that was all right, but like it was still better than most MCU shows. Like at the moment, like it was still a better show than the MCU shows.
But that's
I'm
not what
sure
we're talking
there might
about,
have.
right? The guest appearance.
That was a
The Undoing.
that was a limited series, and there were guest
Right, but-
appearances on that.
Was there?
Yeah, you're
Guest
probably right. There
appearances?
wasn't anything that was as. Look, dude, all the performances in that show were probably as good as anything like in these. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Like I'm just
Did they
being
make
honest
up-
about it.
Did they make what? There's nothing that you could say about the MCU that you don't mean in a bad way. Did they make up the category for it to just give to the MCU, or is this a category that's always been there?
It's a category that's always been there. And
So if there's no
also,
guest appearances in any
thank
of these
you
other
for your
shows,
sarcasm.
and there is a
Thank you for your
category,
sarcasm. I don't think the MCU, like the directors and writers of this, and the people who were performing in this, thought that they were, in a show is even going to get that kind of attention. I don't think they were performing to that level. I'm sure that like Don
WandaVision
Cheadle,
absolutely was. WandaVision
Cheadle,
absolutely was.
she's the best. She's your best bet. Wanda
Yeah, but this isn't.
was your best
this-
bet for an Emmy nomination
Absolutely,
in terms of acting.
and they got 23 of them. So it's like it's. I'm not.
I think that's crazy.
You're fighting this weird war here, like against the popular thing. You do it all the time. It's a weird thing. I
I'm
don't
not
understand
fighting
it. But like,
any war
but
against
with this,
popularity.
specifically with the Don Cheadle thing, right? Specifically with the Don Cheadle thing, it's only weird because he has such a small role on the show. That's it.
Right.
There's no like there weren't a lot of limited series that came out, and of them, very few of them had like guest appearances, like it's that had any kind of real performance to it. Like the only real miss here, the only like thing that can be critiqued is, like I said, Carl Lumbly is the one who it should have gone to.
Dude, I'd say Jupiter's Legacy was better, but anyway, like in terms of performances.
Guest performance. No, Jupiter's Legacy performances were very good. I thought. But there's no real guest performances. Everybody's character is kind of like a good character, and anybody who's not an important character, their performance they're certainly not better than Carl Lumbly's in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This is the weird thing, that this is you attacking the popular thing. That's all it is.
It's not me attacking the popular thing. I just don't think it's up to that level. I don't know. Like again, it is the they did it on purpose. It's not like I'm saying that's not even what they were aiming for. I don't think they were aiming to be Emmy, like fucking nominated shows. It's not to that pedigree of anything. Like really, again, it's not hating. I think it's the shows did what they were trying to do, and they weren't trying to be some kind of especially dramatic. Really kind of it's something to continue on the MCU fun. What is that noise?
That's not
I
me.
don't like that.
Is it like a
Is it
fan?
like
I just turned
Yes,
on my
that's
mic.
exactly what it is.
When I turn it off,
Yeah.
does it go away?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's exactly
Thank
what
you.
happened.
Okay, thanks, man. It's like, for instance, getting a nomination. I wouldn't give a nomination to Superman and Lois for acting. It's like there's been some good performances for a superhero show.
It could
For
get a
sure.
writing. It could get a writing Emmy, or do you not think it could get a writing Emmy?
No, not with the competition
All right.
out there. No, you've got like The Crown that was out this year. You've got
Right. Sure.
You know, The
But that's why
Serpent, bunch of shit, man.
That's why the limited series aspect of it is the big kicker there, right? Because none of these shows are also getting the best anything, like they're not getting that. They're specific to the genre that they were a part of.
Can somebody pull up for me what Emmy nominations the MCU has got this year? Because I really think it's a cash grab from the Emmys in order to get more viewers. That's my opinion on it.
Sure, it could be,
and to get MCU people attending their show and stuff. So sorry,
well, that's not
Chill, man. Sorry, Chill. What were you gonna say?
I'd say it's a race grab more than a cash grab. It's like we need to fill this quota of representation. Hey, Don Cheadle did great in that show for that 2 minutes. Let's put him in. And they're not thinking
that could be part of it a little bit.
Like they didn't actually watch it.
Yeah, like my full retort is this is based on race and they got their quotas to checkbox stuff. We've all heard it, we've all seen it, and this is kind of proof of it to me.
They did it with Black Panther and Get Out, so
Get Out got the best director.
Those weren't Oscar worthy.
They weren't Oscar worthy. Shut up. Black Panther got it for costume design. That's absolutely what that is. That's what that there was fucking and music.
No,
yeah, both of those.
Film. It was
they got nominated. They got nominated for best film, but they won.
The nomination was bullshit.
I disagree, but
but it's subjective.
But they won for. Go ahead, Chill.
But it's subjective. My objective criticism to Don Cheadle is he was in there for 2 minutes, and that's not enough to warrant this nomination. And it's transparent that they only did it because got to have black people there.
Yeah, I know what you're saying with that, but they could have. Surely Lovecraft came out this year, or there was other black shows.
Lovecraft got a bunch of nominations.
Yeah, I really think they wanted some MCU presence there. I think they had enough.
This is crazy, bro.
No, I think they had enough. No, I think they had enough black shows this year to be able to fill that quota that you're talking about.
But it's already there, though, right? Lovecraft Country already has all this stuff, and it's not a limited. It's specific to the limited series. I got the list of the Emmys here for you. Want to take a look at? The MCU doesn't show up until we start getting into the limited series talk. And it's just a different thing here. Look, outstanding drama series. The Boys, Bridgerton, The Crown, Handmaid's Tale, Lovecraft Country, The Mandalorian, Pose, This Is Us. You disagree with it? You think all of those are trash? This is all just them trying to get comic book people to watch their stuff?
No. I don't think The Boys should be nominated, by the way, for outstanding drama series.
All right.
Don't think it should be.
But that's your beef with Evil Superman. That the show is incredible. I don't know how you could look at that.
The show's incredible. Maybe a performance for Anya, the girl who played the Stormfront or whatever. That's about it. For Emmys,
she was great. She was great, but she wasn't the only one. The drama, the series itself is also incredible.
The series is incredible for a comic book show. When you compare it to just normal, The Crown is way better than The Boys. Way better written in almost
but it's also nominated, right? So it's not like they snubbed The Crown for The Boys. You're bringing up a point that doesn't matter.
Different fucking planet, a whole different stratosphere. And if I could, I don't know about Bridgerton. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm pretty sure that many of these Handmaid's Tale, Lovecraft Country, they're just going to be on a whole different scale than The Mandalorian and the fucking Boys. I just maybe I'm wrong, but
yeah, no, you would be wrong about that. But that's obvious. That's your subjective bias against stuff that people like again. So it's a weird thing that's happening. But I gotta go, man. Right. You guys enjoy the show. I'll put the link in there so y'all can pull it up and tear it apart.
Thank you so much for that. Peace, dude. Yellow. Peace, man. Thanks so much for joining.
You said yellow.
Yeah, I said yellow. Thanks for joining.
Swag.
I thought you needed to get out with it, man. Peace, man. Thanks.
Definitely.
Could somebody pull up in the private chat just the Emmy nominations for me, please? And what do you make of this, Warren? Because you haven't got to speak.
Oh, well, I well, I'm gonna use like current events, right? Uh, what's been like? I'm on the like. I just feel like they picked. I'm on show and for
You're breaking up again, dude.
I'm getting the Mr. Krabs voice. Sorry about that. What about now?
Better.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like they're using a 2 minute scene where the actor that he mentioned had a better guest appearance. Like, I don't mind them using the MCU, but it's like Don, like use the other guy who performed with who I can't remember the guy's name. And Yellow
Right.
said it like 3 times. Like use
That would
that
have
because
been understandable.
Yeah.
that would have been understandable. I feel like they're just going with the times with the BML Black
BLM.
Lives Matter.
Black
Yeah,
music
yeah, yeah.
lives.
Oh, right.
And it just feels like they just forced it. Um, and I agree slightly with you that it's like let's give the MCU some nominations too. Cause it's like what like, but I'm one of those people that just a head scratcher. I'm not against it, and I don't care for it. Like I just by looking
Oh, I
at
don't
Don
care.
Cheadle, yeah, just looking at his response, you could tell that he wasn't even expecting this out of. This was like a left field thing for him. You know what I mean? So I just feel like they're using the stuff that's been kind of building up from last year and this year, and like unfortunately, there's agendas being met too. So that's kind of the vibe I got personally.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it hits a bunch of things there. So, Emmy nominations 2021 list, One Division more as well. So, let me just pull up because I'm looking at limited series here. And, for 2021, we've had Westworld, which was fucking amazing. We had The Serpent, which was really fucking good. But we haven't had much, to be fair to the Emmys, because the competition is pretty small considering that we did have Fargo. We had obviously the one that was really big, I guess, last year, which was Queen's Gambit, Handmaid's Tale, that kind of stuff. But again, because of COVID, shows weren't coming out that much this year. But so let's see what we've got. Oh, the Queen's Gambit did make it. So go. Let me go to the top again because I want to just see what's going on in the beginning.
You want to go from the top, make it drop.
Yeah, make it drop. So outstanding lead actress. In Treatment, The Crown, which all makes sense. There should have been three from The Crown in that.
Yeah, if you could have more than one nominee in a show, then why isn't Carl Lumbly the Isaiah Bradley guy in it?
I just don't think they even watched the fucking show, to be honest. I think that's what, like Warren said, like they probably heard, hey, John Cheadle was good in an episode. So
and, hey, let's throw in another to the mix. The political left leaning narrative where this guy would take his Twitter account, Don Cheadle I'm talking about, and would just say all the pro Biden stuff, all of the great things. When Letitia Wright had some thoughts that were against the vaccine, and this isn't somewhat related, but that's the popular left-leaning position, and he goes by Letitia, and like this guy's been campaigning for something, and it feels like the Emmy Awards was his his congratulatory thing. Like it was a reward. If you act like this in Hollywood, you won't be ostracized. But if you are actually someone who thinks, and this is not coming from the perspective of a Republican, I live in Canada, this is beyond me, but it feels like that's what the influence is, or that's the incentive here. It's if you're left leaning, you get nominations.
Yeah, well, I'll talk to you more about that later, but like, because I don't even know what your political leanings are, so I'm kind of curious.
They're both evil. I would have preferred Bernie Sanders to win the American election, but like, both parties are evil.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that settles it then. Very easy. So, I probably would have preferred like Bernie Sanders type as well, to be honest. So outstanding, yeah. So we've gone past the outstanding lead actress. Go down, please, please.
Outstanding lead actor in a drama series.
The Crown, yeah, all makes sense. Is Bridgerton really that fucking good? It looks goofy to me.
I know Shonda Rhimes is behind it, and she did Grey's Anatomy, which is awesome. Scandal that people really like.
All right. Sterling Brown, yep, this is us, yep. What was that? What was the category? Just here?
Was for outstanding lead actor in a drama.
In a drama series. All right, go on. Outstanding supporting actress. Good. So we've got nothing from the MCU so far, right?
Well, how come there could be so many nominees for this category?
That's true as well, but I think it's up to 10 or something like that. I think it's up to 10. But you know what I don't really get is like of all the things that they could have given a nomination for in the MCU, it is actually Elizabeth Olsen's performance in WandaVision, which I think was genuinely quite good.
Oh,
you know,
Lord.
I didn't like the show, but like I thought she was genuinely good. Elizabeth Olsen, what do you mean, oh Lord? Don't sleep on. Well, you should sleep on Elizabeth Olsen if you have the opportunity, but don't sleep on Elizabeth Olsen as an actor. She's a fucking fantastic actor.
Oh Lord.
She had the opportunity to show range with her character being brainwashed, also being an evil person who put them in the hex, and also being a human being. There was a lot of room for her to show her character. So yes.
Yeah. So what are you gonna say, Warren? What's oh Lord?
I think. Okay, you want to hear my opinion?
Yeah.
Let's swap and let's say Falcon Winter Soldier came first. I guarantee you, Anthony Mackie would have been in best leading actor, best this, best that. I think it was we got a first dose of something. It had so much hype build up on it, and it viewer ratings, all that stuff. That she basically, I'm not saying she didn't act well. I'm just saying you put a different show to start off the MCU. I think you would have gotten just a different name there. That's my honest opinion. That's how I feel. Like if you had Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan, I mean, like you could say that John Walker.
You know, she hasn't been nominated, right? Because I don't know if you're arguing that she would, if she had if they had have gone first, they would have been nominated, but she hasn't been nominated. Well, that's what we're saying. Like. Of all the people that should have been nominated for their performances in the MCU so far, she hasn't.
Oh, then that's fine. Then I'm glad. That's fine. I'm fine then.
Outstanding supporting actor in a drama series.
But Giancarlo Esposito, what? Okay, so my question to you guys is what makes something a supporting actor, because he showed up in more than one episode for a long time. What's the criteria? That's what I kind of.
I mean,
Mike.
Because I'll be honest, I'm not taking this Emmy serious. Like they freaking nominated Don Cheadle for 3 minutes. I don't take this shit serious. He gets nominated for 3 minutes of nothing.
Yeah, he didn't do shit as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
I know people are saying his performance was subtle or nuanced. I'm like, dude,
no, they're idiots.
He shouldn't be. He shouldn't be nominated for shit. He didn't do shit. Within 2 minutes, 3 minutes, that's not enough time to do anything or impress anybody with anything.
Yeah, that's MCU fanatics. I'm sorry, and I'm not a fanatic. So,
but mind you, I think in my honest opinion, I'm glad shows like Mandalorian and Lovecraft Country are getting their due. Especially Mandalorian. In my opinion, I think Mandalorian's a better show than WandaVision.
It's probably a better show than all of the MCU shows. So I'm not. I can't. The MCU shows are a low bar. I'm sorry. It's not. I'm not saying they're bad. at all, but they are a low fucking bar for the kind of TV that we're getting these days. Today, we are getting some of the best TV that we've ever seen, right? Like, and so to compare the MCU to that, the MCU TV shows to that, I think it's not like a fair comparison. And I don't even think they're trying to be some of it. They're not trying to be the next Breaking Bad or
No. Yeah, I know.
something like that.
I mean, they
So
wish
I'm
they
not
can.
trying to.
They would like to be. Some of these shows wish they can, but we won't have that for a while with any of these shows. Not even a Star Wars show. We're not going to have nothing Breaking Bad level and stuff. You know, it's going to be years because Breaking Bad is something rare. It's like Game of Thrones. It was rare for a while until it got bad, but it was rare. It was, you don't get a bunch of epic shows like those, you know, even though Game of Thrones ended like shit, which it did. It ended like shit.
Yeah. I just think if Daredevil doesn't get an Emmy nomination, I'd never got an Emmy nomination. No comic book show should get an Emmy nomination. Like really, like after that. Do you know what I mean? Like that is the height of like really, really well written fucking comic book show. So The Boys, all of that stuff, I don't compare to something like Daredevil.
Wait, are they, so for this Emmy, are they nominating the whole show in general or just the seasons? Because season 2 of The Boys came out, what, 2019? What year did it come out?
It came out
2020.
Yeah, 2020, because I was able to watch it.
Yeah. Are they doing the whole show in general, like when they nominate these people and stuff? Because Giancarlo Esposito was barely in season 1. He's like showed up literally in final episode.
He's getting nominated for The Mandalorian though, right?
Yeah,
So they're getting nominated just in general, like across all seasons of the show.
No, it's for the season that aired during the time window of I guess 2020 of June.
Okay, so season 2. Okay,
and they do it for an episode. They do it for a specific episode. That's what.
Yeah, I mean, for a supporting actor, Giancarlo Esposito, he was really great in The Mandalorian season 2. I was like,
oh really?
Yeah, when he tried to kill like Grogu and shit, I was like, damn, this bastard's evil.
Hey, you called it Grogu. You're done calling it Baby Yoda now? Like
I mean, Baby Yoda. That's what I meant to say, Baby Yoda. That damn name Grogu.
Thank you.
Sure. Can you move down, please?
Let's go to Outstanding Limited Series. I May Destroy You, Mayor of Easttown, The Queen's Gambit, The Underground Railroad, and WandaVision. Ooh.
Dude, I
haven't seen the other shows. I only seen WandaVision, so I can only comment on WandaVision. WandaVision did too much trolling for me.
It should not be there.
For me to, be like, yeah, it's a good show. Too much trolling with the writing and stuff and lackluster villain introduction,
Look, put it this way. I've only go on.
And I mean, you can at least put Falcon Winter Soldier up here, like, damn.
No.
What? Okay.
I've only seen The Queen's Gambit, and that show is so much better than WandaVision and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. All The Boys. I'm not just picking all The Boys. Jupiter's Legacy. Queen's Gambit is so much better than them that you're talking about a different stratosphere of like things. So if the rest of those shows are like that as well, I don't know what WandaVision's doing in there.
WandaVision's only there because of the hype it got. I'm telling you, if it was a different, if this was Loki first, or if it was Falcon Winter Soldier first, that would be there.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, I mean, I could put The Serpent in there over WandaVision. That was an outstanding limited series. Just looking at it
I remember even though I don't watch the MTV Music Awards, like even WandaVision got nominated. It won for better action over Zack Snyder Justice League, and I was like, yeah, this is definite hype. Even though I do not like Zack Snyder Justice League, ain't none of the action scenes in WandaVision better than any of the action scenes in Zack Snyder Justice League. But it's off of hype. Preferably, I put Falcon Winter Soldier right here, an outstanding limited series. I wonder what makes WandaVision so outstanding is because it's did a sitcom thing. I mean, a sitcom's already been done. WandaVision did like half-ass sitcoms and stuff. They did half-ass takes on sitcoms and stuff. Majority of it, then when they did do the sitcoms, jokes wasn't really that funny and stuff. I laughed at a couple, but you know.
One thing that WandaVision may have above Falcon is that it is more of a contained story where they kind of introduce this dilemma of 50s, 60s, 70s. And Falcon and Winter Soldier relied more on the past, on what Captain America did at Avengers Endgame. And if you're talking about limited series, you're only judging the 6 episodes or 9 episodes, then maybe WandaVision has that over Falcon.
I mean, it is. Well, I'd say this. WandaVision and Falcon and Soldier feel more like contained and focused on the characters themselves than a show like Loki, because Loki is like literally just set up. You know, it's a show like just a one big commercial type of show.
Yeah, but my thing is like, anyway, continue going. I'm sorry, I don't want to go on a tangent.
Outstanding television movie. There was Uncle Frank, Sylvie's Love, Oslo, Robin Roberts, Dolly Parton's Christmas on Square. I watched none of these.
I've watched none of those.
Never seen any.
Outstanding
actress in a limited series or movie. Michael Cole, Cynthia Erivo, Elizabeth Olsen, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Elizabeth Olsen did her thing. I'll give her props. Like, she was the best part of that show for me. She was the best part of the show for me in WandaVision, you know, because I never disliked Scarlet Witch. I like Scarlet Witch. My only issue with Scarlet Witch has been her, you know, her not using her powers when she should. And, you know, she needs to be angry to use her full extent. But other than that, as a character, when she acts, I think Elizabeth Olsen, she sells it. She does her thing. She does it.
Paul Bettany got fucking nominated for WandaVision. This is a joke.
That's
I'm
what
sorry,
saying,
it's a fucking joke, dude.
That's why I'm like, this is bullshit. Like, look, come on, man. Look at this. Paul Bettany, like, he barely was.
No. Like, he played 2 visions. Come on, guys. He played a white vision and a red vision.
I'm about
to give the man props.
Dude, you know how bad it is? Like, not even a joke. What's his name? From guess it's not a limited series. I was gonna say the Homelander deserves it more than him, even though he doesn't deserve an Emmy nomination either. But like, Paul. Sorry. Anyway, it's not a limited series. But Warren, go for it, man. Sorry.
Oh, like I was just saying that this is ridiculous. Like Paul Bettany, like Monica Rambeau had more of could have had a better performance. Like, come on, man. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's just like, again, I don't mean to harp on and bark up the same tree, but if this was Falcon, like if the slate went to what it was supposed to be, and which was Falcon and Winter Soldier first, right? Instead of WandaVision, I guarantee you to see lead actor Anthony Mackie, outstanding supporting actor Sebastian Stan. Like I fully believe this.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Then, yeah,
because it's just like, and then like you gotta also think, you know, with everything that's happening in the world with like sort of the Me Too, it's like, yay, female power, hoo-ha, like that.
No, I think that's not. I don't know. If that's anything to do with it. I think they wanted the
male
MCU
category.
If this wasn't an MCU show, these guys wouldn't have got nominated. It's that simple.
That's true.
If this was not an MCU show, none of these nominations would have happened. If this was it could be WandaVision, just a different, you know, like some sitcom, weird fucking, you know, sci-fi show that was set in a sitcom. When they got nominated, and it's very, I don't know, that's bizarre. So, go down a little bit and Chill. I want to get your views on this week's Loki after, and before I move on to Superman and Lois, which I'm sure none of you have watched.
That's a definite no for me. So
you want me to answer Loki first?
Let's see what. Oh my god, Catherine Hahn for WandaVision, outstanding supporting actress in the
What's wrong
limited
with
series.
That's fine.
Are they fucking kidding me right now?
Hey,
Really?
maybe we have so few limited series that this is okay. Because I can't name you 6 more actresses who deserve better than Catherine Hahn, because I don't watch that many limited series. It was a year with a lot of lockdowns, so therefore the pool is so small that we can't just keep scoffing at, oh my god, Catherine Hahn, oh my god, Paul Bettany.
We can scoff at it. We've got this. I'm gonna do limited series 2020. Oh, I'm looking at it. Limited series 2021.
It's the same shows. Whenever they say the actor, it's Mayor of Easttown keeps getting mentioned, and Queen's Gambit and Hamilton. It's okay. These are the same people.
Well,
shows.
the I watched The Serpent, and that just to give one, which was like fucking excellent, and all the actors and actresses deserved nominations for that shit, especially the main guy. But yeah, you're right, it is one of those years, but I honestly think if I sat through, because as I said, these limited series are fucking epic. If you sit down and watch some of these limited series that get like 8.5 on IMDb, more likely than not, you're going to see a really compelling fucking drama.
Hey, did you just stutter before IMDb because you were going to say Rotten Tomatoes and we would have made fun of you?
No. I was always going to say IMDb because, it's more people. And with limited series, they have no reason. There's no agenda. It's not like, oh, it's an MCU movie, so we're just going to either or it's like Captain Marvel, so we're going to try and review bomb it or something like that. It's just a limited series. They don't care, so they'll give you their honest opinion. And usually if it gets like an 8.5, 9, something like that, you're looking at a really, really fucking compelling show if you can be bothered to watch it and get into it. So I'll be shocked if there isn't at least 2 or 3 that came out this year. More, like 10, 20 that came out last year that aren't as, I don't know. It's weird, man. I didn't even know that the MCU was nominated this much. I thought it was just going to be 1 or 2. Like, they're all over the fucking place.
I gotta head out, guys. Thanks
Peace.
for having me there, man. Take care, chill.
Thanks. Nice talking to you, man. Nice talking to you.
Outstanding supporting actor in a limited series. There's David Deegs, Jonathan Groff, Anthony Ramos, Thomas Brody Sangster, Evan Peters. For Mayor of Easttown. And then
there's no more MCU, I don't think. Yeah.
You just care about the MCU, huh?
No. I care about everything, but it's like.
Do you watch Blackish for the comedy series? I like that show.
No.
I'm happy to see Cobra Kai because it's a YouTube thing and we're YouTube people. Mm-hmm. Outstanding lead actress in comedy series. Who cares? Lead actor, comedy series. Guest actor in a drama series. This is the big one, right? Don Cheadle.
Cheadle, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Jesus Christ. Courtney B. Vance, Love Country, The Crown. Yeah. Charles Dance was really good in The Crown. Charles Dance. Well, anyway, yeah, good. Let's see the rest of them, and then we can move on to your views on Loki this week.
Outstanding guest actor in a comedy. Outstanding guest actress in a comedy. We don't care about comedy here. Competition program. That's a thing. Oh, The Voice should win just because. There's nothing that tops The Voice. Outstanding variety talk series. Kimmel, Colbert, Oliver. I would say John Oliver's the best. Trevor Noah's okay.
I don't care, man. Fuck them all, but I'd say Conan's quite good, but like whatever.
He's over now. Yeah, he might just get it as like a swan song.
Really?
Never mind. How did Mike know my true goal? He said, "So y'all minus your monger just here to trash Marvel because it's Marvel type." Hey, Mike, how'd you know? This was my whole mission. This is what I was born and bred to do. I was born to be a flip-flop and either join DC or Marvel whenever it fits, whenever it benefits me.
Wait a second, we're here. So you believe they should, like Mike? Come on, man. Even you,
I mean,
if you are so much of an MCU apologist,
I haven't seen the Marvel shows in Lovecraft Country. I haven't seen all the other ones, so I can't say nothing about them.
if you are such a Marvel apologist that you believe that these shows should have got Emmys, then I don't know what, like, they could do anything. Kevin Feige could literally, I don't know, I don't know, like kidnap a loved one of yours and you thank him for it. I just can't, like, I can't fathom how you could, like, I don't know. All right, anyway, on to just your opinions on Loki this week, man.
So for this week's opinions, and you can always check out my YouTube channel where I posted an episode 6 review. But for this episode, I don't think that the episode itself was necessarily bad, but since it was the finale and expectations were, okay, culminate.
Yeah.
It did. It culminated with the kiss between Sylvie and Loki, but that's a story plotline I wasn't interested in seeing. It culminated also with, we got to the end, but with He Who Remains, with him dying, it's like, okay, well, he's not the main kind of guy who's going to continue on different stories. I'm sure we'll get another character who looks like Jonathan Majors. He'll play, I think Kang the Conqueror is the actual name of the character, but like we'll get that somewhere else. So a lot of this didn't lead to a continuing place where it'll branch out to other shows. It just explained the multiverse, which is fine and a good thing. And I'll give it points for that alone. So the series or the episode was meh. The series was
meh.
It was all right. It was decent. Had its moments.
It was meh.
Yeah.
It's the definition of meh. It wasn't bad. If you like Doctor Who or something like that, I'd recommend it to you. But other than that, I don't. It's not really a superhero thing. Like I really don't feel like any superhero.
It was more of a detective. It was more of a detective mystery kind of show. Not really a detective show, but a mystery show. Like you're trying to just figure out who is doing all this. And I have a question. I have a question for Showmonger because you can probably see eye to eye with me on this. All right. So they didn't say who he specifically is. But we know what they're going to try and do when they introduce the Fantastic Four. So this is Nathaniel Richards, right?
Oh, so is he going to be black?
Yeah, no, because I was on ask is like to match it with Jonathan Majors because I thought Kang the Conqueror, I thought that his blue face was like his face. I didn't know it was a mask, but he's actually human underneath that. So what I'm looking at, either Reed Richards or Sue Storm is going to be black, or both of them are going to be black, or they're going to. Or they might be one of them might be white and the other one might be black. I'm saying one of them will get race swapped.
No,
so everybody prepare. One of them will get race swapped.
Hold on, no.
One of who will get race swapped? Sorry, I was looking at the comments.
Reed Richards or Sue Storm. Reed Richards or Sue Storm. I'm just saying prepare. I'm not saying don't. I'm not saying hate it. I'm not saying love it.
I hope they're both Indian. I hope they're both Indian or Asian because that would make sense.
You know what? Anything would make sense because Nathaniel is from the 31st century. We're only in the 21st right now. Thousands of years will pass between that time and the time where Black Nathaniel exists. Reed could be white here, and along the family tree, we get darker and darker. Maybe one of the family members of the Richards migrate to somewhere south where there's a lot of sunlight.
Wait, is Nathaniel their son or was he great grandson or his son?
Bro, it's 1,000 years. I don't even know the greats. I'm not even sure.
Okay. No, but in the comics, is he their son?
I don't remember. Mike might know. Because I never read Fantastic Four like that. I want to say it's the grandson, but I may be wrong. Sorry.
Okay.
You can Google that though. But in the comic books, sure. But because he's in the 31st century, we can just say, sure, he mixed with someone darker and he came to fruition. Now, do I want him not to be white? No, because in the comic books, he's white. Make the guy white. It's that simple, guys. If you guys want to do black characters, go make another black movie. That's always an option. You can always knock on that door. But don't tell me. Wait,
you've got a problem with Kang being black?
Yeah, because in the comic books, he's not black. If I wanted black representation on screen, I would take it from like a Falcon movie. I'll take it from an original black character from a comic book put to life, same way that Black Panther was. But when you race swap it, I don't like that I'm getting the black flag planted on a white character. That's not the way we go about it. We don't minimize a white person and his role to make something black even greater. or to be represented. Just put more black characters.
I don't think that's what they're doing. I think they're just allowing.
That's exactly what happened. It's not.
No. Wait. Sorry, because like the character itself isn't like an iconic character anyway. It's like Kang the Conqueror, and I don't. How's it propping black people up by? All it's doing is giving a black guy a fucking job to act in a role that he's perfectly capable of doing.
Well,
so
he's not qualified for the job because the role is of a white character.
So it's whites only. They should just put audition whites. I don't get it.
Whites only. Actually, the second part of my statement is that if we want black representation, we should take black characters and put them on screen. I didn't say whites only.
No, but like, look, it's kind. It's Kang the Conqueror. We're not talking about like fucking, even Iron Man or like something like that. You're talking about Kang the Conqueror. Like, you have to have most characters in comics are like fucking white. Like, and black people have supported the comic book industry creatively, financially, in every single way. So have Asians, so have Indians, so have everyone around the world. Like you some of the greatest comic runs, where they were just writing for white characters were black fucking comic writers. Yeah. I think there should be something where we can get a little bit something back in terms of like representation in movies, representation behind the screen. And yes, they should do black characters and they should bring out black characters. I don't like when they do it with iconic characters because I feel like you're just renting them for a movie series. Like you can make black Superman, but people are always going to think of Superman as fucking white. There's no way that you're going to convince people that Spider-Man, Superman, Iron Man, Captain America are black characters. Whereas Kang the Conqueror, hey, maybe you can just change him to black in the comics.
Because he's not
right. It doesn't make
he's not up here the same way Logan and Magneto and A-list people are. Well, so I would say.
I'll say this real quick. I'll just say this because we know the Kang in this show is just another version of Kang, right? Just like they did with the variants with Loki. All the Lokis were different. They all weren't Tom Hiddleston. While Tom Hiddleston had one parallel Loki, President Loki. So that pretty much confirms there's a parallel version of you that looks like you, but everyone else is different when it comes to this time travel stuff we see so far in Loki. So I'm guessing there'll be one variant Kang that looks just like Kang. The other variants, if they show them, one will be white, another one may be Egyptian, another one may be Arab, alligator or Arabic or a freaking ant. But this is my thing. While I'm okay with Jonathan Majors playing Kang, as long as he keeps the mask on throughout all these movies, that's fine. Because, we don't really need to see Kang's face and stuff, because he's just a guy in a mask. If he's keeping the mask on, that blue mask on, the blue face paint throughout the whole franchise, then cool. Because I know for a fact they're going to play on the fact that he is related to Reed Richards and Sue Storm when they bring it up when the Fantastic Four show up. They're going to play on that. And I think they should play on that because it's going to it's going to be real meta. It's going to, it's going to add some more attention to the story, especially when the Fantastic Four get in here. But for me, in the Marvel world, just the comics, Kang is one of the biggest villains. He's one of the, when I hear people talk about Marvel villains, it's like Venom, Green Goblin, Galactus, Thanos. Kang is Doctor Doom. Kang is also part of those notable names you hear when it comes to Marvel.
What have I missed here? Because I don't know when he became like a big name that everybody should know, like Kang the Conqueror.
No.
Have I missed something with being an animated series or what was he in?
I remember. I think he was in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. He showed up in Avengers Assemble. He showed up in the most recent animated stuff. He's like, look, and let's be honest, he's like Thanos. Not a lot of people know about Thanos.
No, and I wouldn't have cared if he was black either. Played by a black actor.
Thanos wasn't iconic either, but this thing we knew about Thanos though, because remember the Silver Surfer show, the Silver Surfer animated show. I knew of Thanos before then. I knew of him. I didn't know all about him, but I knew of him. I didn't know about Kang until the early 2000s. That's when I started hearing about Kang, the early 2000s. Well,
Look, for me,
open my article.
supporting characters and
Open my
villains
article.
are for me they're open, like more open for open game for like race swapping or gender swapping. I really tend to not give a shit. Like even if you saw in Spider-Man, was it like the animated Spider-Man film, Into the Spider-Verse, where they made Doc Ock a woman. Like that was cool. It was an interesting new spin on the character, and it was surprising because you were like, I didn't know that was where they were going to go with that character. Sorry, Bob?
That was a future take in a sense, because those wasn't because there was the male Doc Ock existed, but that female one was like the what you would call it, the next person to take up the mantle of the villain. It wasn't they gender swapped Doc Ock in that movie.
Yeah. I mean, I've looked at 100 greatest comic book villains for a long time, and I've read, like I always read them with some interest, and I never ever see Kang the Conqueror in those lists.
Well, according to IGN, he is number 16 on list of villains.
Yeah. For Marvel?
No, just in general. Wait,
no, that's not Injustice. That was Marvel.
Just for Marvel.
I mean, he's in the top 20.
Yeah.
But like when I hear people, this is the thing. When I talk to people who like Marvel and stuff, or have conversations, Kang name does come up. I may not know about him, but his name does come up. It's like when you talk about DC villains. What's the main villains that people will usually say? Joker, Deathstroke, Darkseid, Luthor, Bane, many of Batman's villains, Penguin, Riddler, his whole roster.
Lex Luthor, Ares, I know all of them, but again, for me, those guys can all be race swapped for a film or something like that. That doesn't really bother me, because I don't think villains have a definitive backstory. Neither do supporting characters like Lois Lane, right? They don't tend to have definitive backstories. They tend to have backstories that are based upon the particular story you're telling about the hero. So if you're telling a story about Batman that's in a grounded universe, or in a Tim Burton universe, or in a or in the future or something, or in feudal Japan, wherever you're telling the story about the hero, the villain or the supporting cast stories tend to change. Right, so that for me means that they're much more open to interpretation, where you can get a black Jim Gordon, or you can get a black Joker, like where the Joker is like, I don't know, you can tell the story organically, where the Joker is like, hey, he's from the streets or something, like not the streets. How would I put it? Like he's like a ghetto Joker or something. I don't know, something like that, where like Batman is going into the hood and like.
You tried to like correct your words, and then you said something even infinitely worse. He's the ghetto Joker.
I don't know how to put it. It's just like I just mean that there's a story to be told about Batman being going into Gotham, which is like this downtrodden kind of Chicago-esque kind of place, and coming across like a character like Joker and him being black. I don't know how else to put it. But yeah, like Gotham has always been that, so it kind of would make some kind of logical sense to do an interpretation like that.
No, man, look, because this is my thing, right? This is my thing. When there's three things, because there's the inconsistencies with when they do these race swaps. I'm gonna use Aquaman for example. So they race swap Aquaman with Jason Momoa, right?
Yeah.
But mind you, in all the other adaptations, animated, video games, and comic books, he's still white.
Yeah.
And another thing, these shows and movies have an opportunity to create new characters. Just like how the Batman animated series started Harley Quinn in that show, and she went over to the comics. These shows have, in movies of today with the comic books, DC and Marvel, have a chance to introduce new characters. You can introduce new heroes. Hell, you just introduce new stuff and give other people new opportunities to be, start out as fresh new characters. And it's going to take time to build them up. Because
of course.
Because the whole race swapping thing in general is just a little loophole, ease of access to put whatever they want on it, to put their whole little, put themselves in it, because people need to, for some reason, see themselves as a character to, feel better about themselves, which I don't need. One of my favorite characters is Goku, and I don't look shit like Goku. I'm not buff. I'm not a freaking light-skinned alien. I'm a black guy with a flat top. And I'm not even from space. I don't look like
but
Goku.
that to me isn't the point.
That's the only reason they do these races, so people can see themselves as the character.
I don't think that for me is nothing to do with it. For me, it's more to do with, I want, when a little black kid or a little Asian kid goes to the cinema, to be able to see people like themselves in prominent roles, whether it's in the Batman universe, in the Superman universe, because I don't want them to, no, wait, there's a different reason though. The reason I'd say I want them to see that, not because I think they're going to identify with those characters more because of the color of their skin, but because I think that it is good for them to see that, so that they can say, yeah, if I want to be an actor and I want to, and in any roles, by the way, like in all roles, like not just comic book movie stuff, but if I want to be an actor, that's not so far-fetched. If I see everyone being, it's uniform, it's homogeneous, like on screen, I see that, and I'm a little black kid or I'm a little Asian kid, I'm going to think, well, maybe this acting thing is a pipe dream. Maybe this isn't for me. This is for these kind of people. And so that's why I think it's so important to have representation in these massive IP characters, right? So especially something like Batman, Superman, and whatever. But at the same time, build up your own characters. By the way, AMBW, who is this? Because I don't...
Finally, we got the AMBW to come on to the freaking show. We've been waiting for so long.
What's up, guys? Wait, hang on. Wait, sound is kind of whack over here.
What's up, bro? We seen you've been watching us. Actually,
yeah. Sorry. So
Nerd Man, and we've been waiting for you to get on one of our shows. Thanks for coming on.
Okay.
I know, man. Hey, guys, see ya, Nerdman. Thank you so much for having me on here. I appreciate it. I just want to say that I'm a big fan of you and K-Dot, and also you, Mr. Killmonger. So yeah, man, I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm finally here. So I just want to sort of get on here and sort of introduce myself to y'all. So yeah.
No problem. New contender enters the ring, dude. All right. Chill. What were you saying, man? I to the point I was making.
Man, I forgot. I think
it was about like the kid.
Up. So you were saying that a young person gets to see that, and to me, I think my most important, what I want to be accomplished is to counter the white bias that has existed on screen for a long time. I feel like I can accomplish your goals that you were just speaking on, Nerdman, which is why my thumbs was up. And we can do that by doing what K-Dot was suggesting, and by taking a lesser known character and putting him in that iconic role, because it just happened with T'Challa. The Black Panther was not an A-lister the way he is in 2021. Back in 2016. And it can be done. And we saw the blueprint of it done. So that's why I'm over the race swapping. And I see Raphael in the comments in the live chat mentioning that like it's an inevitable thing, and it doesn't have to be an inevitable thing for lesser known iconic. I mean, lesser. What's the way you put it? Someone who's not iconic. If that character gets race swapped and you're not going to be using him for like 15 years down the road, sure, fine, whatever. Yeah. But with Kang the Conqueror, with Jonathan Majors, if they're going to treat him like the 16th most important villain, then I actually would love for him to be accurate to his his thing. Taskmaster.
No, and quick example. Chill, can you tell me a comic book villain in the Marvel universe right now that is a black or that is black, for
There's
instance.
not many. There's
That
the Prowler.
that could be a threat for the entire Avengers.
No,
So
I
there is
can't think-
nobody who could be the central kind of threat in the way that Kang can.
No, yeah, exactly. That's right.
So
a good point.
therefore, if you want
There's
a black actor or black character to be the center of a particular, like, be the villain of a particular kind of long form story, you don't really have that many options.
So Eric
And
Killmonger.
you wouldn't want to Eric Killmonger for the Avengers.
Sure, there's not that many options. So what you're telling me is true about villains when you restrict it to villains. But when we're talking heroes, then like all I care about is the representation. I don't, and I'd be much more prouder to have or happier to have a hero who's black that the kids can look up to than a villain who's black. So the hero,
I don't care. No, I want there to be black people to and Asian and everyone to be able to play everything and in between. Like, I don't want them only putting heroes up there. Like,
so I can't. You asked me if I could. Sorry, but you asked me if I could think of any black villains. I can't. Not immediately. If you give me like an hour to Google some stuff, I'll name you the 15 most important black villains, and they're probably not going to be that prominent. But the movies, like K-Dot says, has the ability to make them super and these household names. But they do exist. There's just few and far between.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
Nerman, I'm give a quick example, really fast, super fast. Falcon is the best prime example. Before Falcon in a Winter Soldier, who was Falcon? Just a man with bird wings who was literally the butt of every joke. Now, you have people accept him as Captain America, which, I take him as Captain America too for now. I'm gonna call him Falcon for a while because he's still Falcon to me. But one show elevated him. A 6-episode show just elevated this man to new heights. Something his comics couldn't do. We're about to have Falcon as Captain America for the next 10 years. He's going to have more longevity than his comic run in the comics. Because this is the difference. In the MCU, you can do that. You can do any of these new changes and stuff. But already established in the comics, the reason Falcon didn't have the longevity was because Steve Rogers' Captain America was just the superior Captain America. They invested in him for multiple years. He's been elevated in the comics. So people are going to usually just accept him as Captain America. Just like same with Batman. Let's say we could get let's say if they did a comic run of a black Batman in the comics. They're already doing one for the future DC stuff.
Yeah,
I'll give that black Batman about 2 years until they actually go back to Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't like them doing it with iconic characters. That's my whole point.
In the movies, because this is a whole new thing, like a different media, even though it's all comic book. These changes in these movies and TV shows will have more longevity. Because at the end of the day, this is just the truth. The TV and movies of comic book characters and stuff have elevated these characters, made them more well-known, got people to read them more. These are the reasons these characters boost. Captain America, who was Captain America for First Avenger? Nobody. Now he's
he wasn't somebody. He was an A-list superhero. I mean, on the bottom level of the A-listers, but he was an A-lister, man. Everyone knew who Captain America was.
Because look, I knew about him, but the world did not love him like at the time, like they loved the Batman.
They thought it was corny. It's just like, hey. By the way, I want to.
Yeah, they thought he was corny and stuff.
I'm muting AMBW because of the background noise, but I wanted to make sure that he gets a chance to speak just after. So do you want to finish your point just so that I can unmute him and get him to respond to some of this?
I'm finished.
You finished?
Yeah, I mean, just can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, yeah. So for me, I can fathom skin color swaps. Don't get me wrong. Like, I can still watch a movie whether they swap the character's skin color or not. Preferably, I want to see the character I grew up with, because that's what I'm used to. I want to see exactly what I saw in the comics to an extent. You can make your minor changes, but I want to see what I read growing up. But just in general, overall, make new characters, create new characters in this new media because you can, and build on something new. And also, DC and Marvel, use your freaking characters you already got. Freaking icon. We're getting Black Superman, but they can't give a fucking icon.
No, but look, this is the difference, and this is where I give DC no fucking excuses. They've got iconic as well as B-list tier characters primed at the moment to make big fucking bank in the box office. Martian Manhunter, John Stewart. They don't need to race swap any fucking characters. They don't need to race swap fucking Superman. You know, I don't even give a shit. As I said, race swap Lois Lane all the fuck you want. Race swap Lex Luthor. I don't give a shit about that because in the end, it's the story you're telling of that particular Superman that defines who the supporting cast are. You know, you can do him in a realistic universe. You could do him in a Donner universe. You could do him in various different types, and it changes the story and the meaning of the particular villain. So villains and all of that, that's fine. But in terms of the superheroes, you do not need to race swap a single damn superhero on the Justice League. You've got Vixen. You can use basically the same model that they used to promote Black Panther with Vixen, right? You've got some Asian characters there that are like, you know, the Atom was even set up pretty well in fucking Justice League. So there is no fucking reason at all for them to be doing race swapping in the DC EU universe, and that pisses me off much more. Whereas the MCU, I just think they've been changing these characters up so much from the jump anyway. You know, Hulk isn't Hulk, Thor isn't Thor. The only characters that I think are actually really who they are in the comics or have been elevated somewhat is Captain America and Iron Man. The rest of them, they've been tweaking and messing around with them. Guardians of the Galaxy, it's the same thing. So does it matter anymore? Like, especially with these kind of characters that maybe normies don't know that much, and it doesn't change their character by changing their race? I don't think so. But AMBW, let us know what you think about this.
So yeah, I kind of see it from like both perspectives. Personally, I think like business wise, my take is that like a lot of these studios are doing it obviously to basically, I don't know, like pander is the right word, but like market towards, you know, like a different demographic. For instance,
pander is the right word. You got it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like they see, you know, they see how much movies like Black Panther make, you know, and they have Shang-Chi coming out. They're working on Black Panther 2 right now. So, you know what I mean? From a business perspective, it is kind of hard to argue with certain things in terms of, you know, whether or not they decide to, you know, race swap or gender swap. I also want to say in terms of Black Widow, what they did Taskmaster was an abomination. But however, looking at it from the other perspective, I do understand why they did it for the story's sake. And as much as I hate the change, I do feel as though story-wise it kind of worked.
Wow, right.
Right, but I also do want to see them do a Mandarin with him later, him, and actually bring the real Taskmaster, the more comic actor, you know, Taskmaster, to life ultimately, kind of like how they're doing with the Mandarin. But I also, I mean, in terms of like, I guess like what I honestly really do think about race swapping, gender swapping, for me, I feel as though there are enough original characters, enough original Black, Asian, Hispanic characters, whatever, you know, to ultimately bring to life. But for whatever reason, these studios are afraid to basically invest money, you know, in fear of them not turning a profit. And I think we're sort of seeing that with, you know, the Black Superman movie, which apparently is not going to feature, I forget, what is that character's name again? Fazad? I think that's his name.
Calvin Ellis?
Yeah, him. Yes, exactly. So they have like, you know, years worth of stories for that character, but they will hesitate before, you know, actually greenlighting a movie that's actually about him. So, you can already see the sort of the fear and sort of the uncertainty in terms of, like investing in a big budget movie like that, which doesn't really make sense because Marvel did it with Black Panther, and that got nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, all that stuff. But they're afraid to do it, so they're basically, sort of, kind of, in my opinion, kind of like taking an L in terms of, I guess, race swapping Clark Kent, or I guess allegedly what they're planning to do, but yeah, that's just like what I think about it.
And I think that Black Panther kept coming up in your answer because it's that important. Like, we live in a post-Black Panther world where it just happened. Everything that I advocate for exists. No more excuses. Do that again. And I mean, like, taking a black character from the comics and putting him on screen, making him a household. Marvel, DC, which Nerdman, you're actually against it, which is cool that you agree with me there. It's just we have different criteria. But DC, they got Icon, they got Static Shock. Do that.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
I wouldn't even do Icon and Static Shock yet, but yeah, I'd certainly do that in future. But I just go Martian Manhunter and John Stewart. It's the logical thing to do. Build that up so you can get your fucking Justice League movie out there, right? It's not even it's a no fucking brainer. Fuck Static Shock at the moment. I'm sorry. I know he's great and whatever, but it doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, it's like doing a fucking. It's like doing a Nightwing now. It's like doing a Nightwing now in that universe. I'm like, set up your fucking Justice League. That's what you need to do. It's been how long? How long has it been since this fucking whole comic book thing came out? They just got Justice League out like properly, right? And they don't even have the several of the core members out there yet. They need to get the fucking Martian Manhunter and John Stewart out. Then you can give me the rest of this bullshit.
Look, Nerdman, I agree. I do not disagree. Look, with Flashpoint, I fear they're going to give us some expedited new Justice League real quick. Like when they do as much first episode, all right, here's the new Justice League. Take them as is. But mind you, for me, because I don't care about the cinematic universe for DC no more. If they're going to give us one, I'll have to wait and see. I just care about what individual movie will be good at this moment. Because Marvel has it locked with doing a cinematic universe, an actual universe, right? So I can invest in them because I know they're setting it up and doing something with it, something. I'm here to see one movie at a time and just give it props for that movie. I just want to see movies focus on each other. Like Blue Beetle, like Blue Beetle. Look at it like this. It's about to be the first Hispanic live-action superhero for DC. And I think even for Marvel doesn't even have their first live-action Hispanic superhero yet. Mm-hmm. And Static Shock. While Black Panther was we get this black adult that was inspiring to all. We're about to get this black kid hero who can appeal to black teens more. I mean, he's going to appeal to me because he's a black nerd. I'm a black nerd. He's probably not going to appeal to
No, I'd love Static Shock to show up in like a Shazam, 2 or something like that. Set him up for later. I'd love that kind of shit.
He's too cool for Shazam.
Raphael,
yes. The answer to your question: do you think at this point Marvel
Shazam's way cooler than fucking Black? What is it? Static Shock. What are you talking about? Shazam fucking shut your whore mouth to a fucking K-Dot, man. Shazam is fucking dope, man. The Shazam family.
Slander. Hey, I hope Static Shock comes out. It is better than both Justice League movies.
Dude, look, I don't care what you say about
Static Shock. Could be amazing.
The what's it called? The new Justice League was trending and did well on streaming and did well in Asia. They have to be fucking insane not to be working on a fucking new follow-up Justice League movie. I don't care. Don't hire Zack Snyder back to do it. Hire Gareth Evans, somebody else who can do the second movie. But get us going with that movie. Get us confident, that you're doing good movies again. like with a Green Lantern, with a Flash movie, with a good Shazam, with a new Wonder Woman, and then get that fucking new Justice League movie out. That's what I think by then people would have gotten over the whole Zack Snyder thing if they really don't want to work with Zack Snyder again. I don't give a shit about, like, it's the characters that are more important to me. And then, yes, I'd love a Static Shock movie and Blue Beetle and Zatanna.
In my honest opinion, they should just hard a reboot, in my opinion, and just start over from scratch. That's my opinion. Because what they're trying to do Flashpoint. They're trying to soft reboot of Justice League.
Yeah.
And then you got to rebuild it again. It's not really going to, you might as well just start from scratch, rebuild again. Because, dude, Nerman, I'm gonna really be honest. WB should have just stuck with Green Lantern as the first movie, then Man of Steel, and just stuck with it and kept going. Because you're gonna get better over time. Even for Marvel, they had a couple duds after Iron Man. Incredible Hulk was kind of a dud. Thor 1 wasn't as great. First Avenger was good, but not great. Iron Man why would you? Dud, but Avenger 1, boom. Like they stuck.
Why would you hard reboot a fucking, what is it? A 6? Sorry, man. Sorry, AMBW. I'll unmute you in just a second. But like, why would you hard reboot something that's been a success? I don't get that. I really don't understand that. Why would
Aquaman?
Well, if we're going off financial, yeah, but critical reception, this stuff has not been critically received.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, realistically, when you have Jason Momoa being Aquaman and Margot Robbie being Harley Quinn and everyone as that, I
wouldn't get rid of them. You can keep them, keep them, but just start over.
And it wouldn't be a hard reboot if you kept them.
Yeah, exactly. When you say hard reboot, I think you mean like recast everyone, start again. Recast Flash, recast Wonder Woman. I don't see that as necessary. Just make a Justice League 2. Fuck off the epilogue. I don't care what anyone says. That epilogue of Zack Snyder, just fuck it off. Get a director to go straight after that moment that the Justice League are on the hangar waiting for the bat thing and they're all together. Just start from there. Fuck the epilogue with the him in the whatever future. If people are longing for that after they do a Justice League 2 movie and people are like, oh, but we really want to see what happens in the desert or whatever, then hire him to do that afterwards. But for now, just do another Justice League 2 movie after you do a few movies here and there, like a Cavill Superman, a Wonder Woman 3, a Green Lantern, and then just do a Justice League 2. That's my thing on it. Chill then AMBW.
First of all, what do we call you, AMBW? You can answer that in a second. But like, as stupid as it would be not to do a Justice League sequel after the success of the Snyder Cut, it's stupid. It would be just as stupid to do it without Zack Snyder, because that's just so much negative publicity that hurts the film. You got to do it with Zack Snyder.
I think if you do a couple of movies that are really good without Zack Snyder, people will start to be like, okay, I can deal with Justice League that's not Zack Snyder. The people will get used to it eventually, especially if you get the right director. Don't just get some stupid MCU ripoff director. Get a director that fits the tone of what Zack Snyder was actually doing. Like, as I said, Gareth Evans is my guy, or who was the guy who did he was the original guy who was going to do the Justice League movie, George Miller or something like that. Somebody who will do something in the tone and fashion that is befitting of Zack Snyder, because again, it'll be hard to work with him.
Yeah, Bruce
Timm. Nah.
You guys may be okay with it, Hashim, but it's hashtag restore the Snyderverse, not restore a universe that continues what Zack Snyder started. It's got to be Snyder.
Yeah.
Let's find out what AMBW feels about that. Sorry, man. I've got to meet you because of the noise, man.
AMBW stands for Always Marry Black Women. I can tell by his display picture.
Oh.
No, you're not far off from there, but yeah, thank you. So, first of all, I am sorry about the background noise. Unfortunately, it'll get better in a sec, but right now it's kind of bad. But my thoughts on terms of like rebooting, I guess like the DCEU or like whatever the hell they're calling it now. I do agree with you actually. Like, when you guys said they should do it with Snyder. Basically, in my opinion, as divisive as those movies were, and as divisive as Justice League was when it came out a few months ago, I honestly looked at it and
it wasn't divisive, by the way. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Maybe on the YouTube, like some people don't like it, but it got a high, approval rating, from critics as well as audiences. So I don't think it's divisive at all. But carry on, man.
Okay, yeah, for sure. But yeah, so I do agree. I do think that Snyder is kind of the key to ultimately basically continuing that universe or like rebooting it. First of all, I do want to say that like as an Asian American, I know how sort of how basically bad of a job Walter Hamada is fucking up at Warner Brothers, and it's just like pains me in my heart because that's the only fucking studio in Hollywood, excuse my language, that is run by an Asian American man, and he's doing such a horrible job. So I'm sorry, but no, but
are you apologizing for the whole of Asia?
Yes, on behalf of all Asian people, we're sorry. We're not all like that. But I do feel like there were, in terms of like his original cut that we got a few months ago. There were so many scenes that were just like a lot stronger and a lot more felt more organic. And the pacing, yes, it was 4 hours long, but it's just, honestly, in my opinion, I wasn't bored like one bit, and I felt like right, exactly. And I keep thinking in my head, it's like, imagine if that had actually been released in 2017. That would have come out before Infinity War and Endgame. And I feel like that movie, like, definitely in my opinion, was on par at least with Infinity War. I don't know if it's necessarily better or strong as Endgame, because I actually love the hell out of Endgame. But Infinity War, I felt like it might have been like better than that. And maybe I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just like I remember watching into the stream.
Sorry, do you want to be my co-host of the show?
I don't mind. I don't mind. Bring me on, whatever. But no, like, here's the thing, though. Like, it's just like, I mean, here's the thing. As a DC fan, I am pissed at the fact that like DC, they're doing such a horrible job with these characters. I mean, I heard for the third time that they're even thinking about recasting Jim Gordon, like the third fucking time. And that makes no sense. Like, what the hell are they doing over there? They have their heads up their asses.
You mean the what's his name? Who's playing Jim Gordon in the Batman movie by Matt Reeves?
Yeah, I read somewhere. I think it was. I don't know. It was like last week or something. No, not for that movie. No, not for that movie. I think it was like for like a different project in the future or something like that. Something that's a pre-production. I don't remember. But anyway, sorry. So I got off topic. What I'm trying to say is, yes, I do think that Snyder should reboot it. I don't know if he has any interest in actually, sticking with it long term, or if anyone at the studio actually wants to do that. But I feel like, he's kind of the key, because people keep saying DC needs a Kevin Feige. You know what I mean? But you're not going to get, like, in all honesty, you're not going to get another Kevin Feige unless you literally clone him or something like that. There's nobody on this planet that is like him. Like, he is him, and yes, he is probably the reason why.
That's not true. There are many people on the planet like Kevin Feige. There's not many people in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Hollywood. That's the problem. I would do a sick DCU, bro.
And I'm sorry to burst your guys' bubble. If Justice League 4 Hour came out in 2017 and went to the movies, that would have such negative reception. Can you believe it's 4 hours long? If it came on TV, and I guess if HBO Max was where it is now at that time, then maybe we're talking. But it's an imaginary scenario where the 4 hour Snyder.
No. Wait. Let's clarify here. You mean like a cut down from 4 hours, right? Don't you, AMBW? Like, you don't mean the full 4 hours in the cinema. Well, I think there's so much you can cut from that movie that it would make it better. To be honest, as much as I like it, you can't tell me that the Aquaman sniffing the jumpers scene needs to be in that fucking movie. Adds nothing to the movie at all. The singing adds nothing to the movie at all.
Wait. I have a question.
So many scenes like that you can cut out. So I don't buy that at all. That you couldn't have put like a 3 hour version of Snyder's movie, and unless people just wanted to hate, which they often do with the DC, because I hear people even hating on Shazam, perfectly good movie. Aquaman gets more hate possibly than it even deserves, even though I don't even like that movie. So there's a lot of movies in the DCEU that just from the jump, before they even come out, people start trying to get their licks in. I wanted to ask one thing though about, because I've just seen it reminded me that I wanted to respond to or do a reaction to this King Shark trailer for the Suicides. Have any of you seen it?
No,
I've seen it. If I think I know what you're about to say, I've already seen it.
Okay, good. So, K-Dot, tell me what you wanted to say, and then AMBW finish off.
It's for everybody on the panel. Just a quick question. I think I asked this many times before, but I didn't get your guys' answer. All right, Zack Snyder Justice League, to me, the 4 hour story was, is typically the plot of one movie, right? Plot of one movie. We all know Warner Brothers wanted a 2 hour version of Justice League. They wanted a 2 hour version, right?
Yeah, which would have been stupid. That would have got trashed.
Yeah.
If they did a 2 hour version of that movie, it would have been trashed.
Okay, and I just what I wanted to ask, like, would that story even have worked in 2 hours? Because mind you, Zack Snyder's movies work in longer form than they do when they're short. If there was a 300 cut, 300 at itself, it worked good. It's under 3 hours. It's a good contained story. But Watchmen, BVS, Zack Snyder Justice League, you need to watch them all in the longer version to have a better understanding, and you're gonna like the movie a lot better because you get the full context of everything that's being presented in the story. Zach, he's a good director, but he needs to learn how to tell shorter stories. Like, that's his biggest problem. He films too much and he's learning how to tell shorter stories.
I don't even think it's shorter stories. That's part of it, but I think he needs to learn that he shouldn't be anything to do with the writing or coming up with the story. He just needs to. He needs to know his role.
He needs
to just direct. He doesn't need to be coming up with the story. He can maybe, like, if you look at Watchmen, he came up with a good idea of how to change the Watchmen at the end. But that Watchmen was already a fixed story, right? So he's a guy who gets good ideas off something that's already solid, like there for him, right? Him making up every single thing I hate about the fucking Justice League in the Zack Snyder cut is stuff that he did once Warner Brothers gave him free reign to do what he wants when he was doing the reshoots, right? So if you look at everything else, Warner Brothers had come down hard on him before the film even went into production with the writing, and said, "Hey, you're gonna change some shit. We don't care anymore. We're telling you to change some shit." All right, I have to. Sorry, dude. Sorry, AMBW.
Juicy.
Yeah, that sounded juicy, dude. But yeah, so to me, like the
Yeah, that was
Martian
it.
Manhunter stuff, all of that stuff was Zack Snyder's additions, and they don't work.
Yeah.
And they need to be. They should have been taken out. It's a better film for it if those scenes are taken out. Phil Militis, hi, how are you doing? I
What's up,
wanted to
Jones?
ask you guys, did you have anything else to say about this, or could I pivot and ask AMBW what he thought of the new what he thought of the Suicide Squad trailers in regards to Walter Hamada and what he's doing with DC? Can I? Yeah, okay.
I'm good. You can go ahead and show the new trailer.
I'm going to ask all of us first what we think of what we've seen of the Suicide Squad so far. So, AMBW, in regards to the point you were making earlier, with the Walter Hamada and how he's been running DC at the moment, because again, I think he should bring Snyder back, but in absence of that, just get somebody else to direct a Justice League movie, build up towards a Justice League movie. He doesn't seem to be doing either one of those things, which I think is stupid. But just talking about the movies he's bringing out, what have you been thinking of what you've seen of the Suicide Squad recently? The new one.
I think honestly hope that. Sorry. I hope that it'll be a good movie. So far, it looks really good. Based on James Gunn's previous work, obviously Guardians of the Galaxy. I do have a lot of confidence that the movie will be good. It looks funny. It does look funny. It does look. Yeah. It looks funny. It looks entertaining. I do wonder though, is this movie? I mean, I know people have said this probably 100 times, so I'm sorry in advance, but is it technically like a soft reboot of sort of just like discounting like the previous Suicide Squad movie that came out a few years ago, or is it still like within that continuity?
It's still in the continuity, but just a soft reboot of the team.
Oh, okay,
and the tone, the tone of the film as well, which, by the way, I have to say it again, was successful and did have fans. So they're switching up the tone, much like they did with Wonder Woman 84 for a successful movie. We'll see how that goes for them, switching up the tone again.
I take issue with how it's purposefully ambiguous to whether or not it's a continuation of last one.
Right. Yeah. I feel you on that too, Chamar. I don't like that either. It's like, is it a continuation or not? Is it a soft reboot? What is it? Because we want to know what they're planning, what they're doing. Mind you, we have to see, but I still want to know what they're planning to do because it's like with the MCU. And this is the thing. A cinematic universe is not a requirement for a good movie. It's not. I'm just saying that it's an add-on, but it's not a requirement. But whatever they're planning to do, I want to know what the plan is because I want to
believe in it.
I want to invest. Yeah, I want to believe and I want to invest in something. I just don't want to just invest in something and it doesn't do shit.
I don't mind them doing it more like solo movies either. Like, it's fine as long as those solo movies with very much directorial point of views. They can be like directorial point of views, but at least move towards something that is collective, right? Like it could still be like the director has their own thing. They get to make their own movie, but at the end you move towards like a team movie. I was going to ask AMBW and then move to Film Elite. It's just one question. I was really pissed off that they've got rid of the what's her name again? It's the Asian character in it. Oh, for God's sake!
Katana.
Katana, exactly. I know. I don't care what anyone says. I liked Katana in the movie. It was one of those characters where I was like, I just want more from her. I want to see more, and she's a good actress as well, and she deserved more in the first movie, right? And them just getting rid of her, I thought was, to put in all these other random kind of characters, I think is kind of, I think that's annoying. You get some, we've been talking about representation of characters who actually are, rather than race swapped or whatever, they actually are those characters.
That's
and then
right.
you get one, and then you just fucking abandon her in the next movie. I think it's a piss take. I was really pissed off James Gunn with that.
To be fair, in the last movie, her sword was not trapping the souls of his victims properly. I don't think we've seen any souls get trapped in her sword because she didn't do shit.
No. She didn't do shit, and I want her to get. They should be creative with that, because you can make that
Yeah,
power
they had
into
opportunities
something.
and didn't live up to it. Mind you, there's so many opportunities. And whether it was David Ayer or not, or WB, none of them took the opportunity to in this moment here, we can make her tight. It's like clear opportunities, and directors and studios not being competent enough, creative enough to capitalize on them. Like, how can we, the fans, think of more epic stuff than these people who get paid billions to put this stuff, bring this stuff to life for us? It's great.
Give her enhanced abilities. Give her the ability to get the ghost of whoever she traps and use their powers or something like that. I don't know, like anything. But AMBW, then Film Elitist, if you could let me know what you think of them. What you think of the new. Oh, you've told me what you think of Suicide Squad, but what do you think of Katana being taken out, AMBW, and then I'll move to Film Elitist.
I mean, Kara Fukuhara is hot as fuck, so that is a damn shame that she is not in any more movies, I guess. But no, I do feel like she was underutilized in the original. And I keep asking people, but nobody has an answer. It's like, where the hell is the Ayer cut, right? Because I know that Snyder got his, and I'm just wondering what exactly is in this Ayer cut. Is there more Katana? Is there more Boomerang? Is there more Deadshot? You know what I mean? How come that hasn't been released, or at least buzzed about lately? Because I feel I
want that.
You don't want that?
No, I want it. I want to see it.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, like I said, in the cut that we got back in, I think, was it 2017 to 2016 or something like that. Yeah, I mean, Katana was very underwhelming. In general, that movie was really underwhelming. It was fun. It actually had one of the best trailers I've ever seen for a movie, period. Which is why, obviously, they hired those guys to actually edit the damn movie. But I
like the first trailer the most, actually. I don't the trailer where it was a bit more with the Queen soundtrack in the back. I didn't like that trailer as much as the first trailer, which was a little bit more dark, and I think that was what Ayer was going for originally. But
I think the best trailer was that Comic-Con one with the music. When they had
I started a thing that started the whole world crying. Right,
exactly. Yeah,
I'll put it in a private chat later.
Well, you can share it basically, but I think I can't play that because it takes your stream down. But
I'll so you can personally look at it yourself, so you know which one. You don't have to play it here; it's going to take on your stream. Yeah.
All right. So, Film Elitist, before I play this trailer, the new
the trailer's been up for the last 10 minutes. We could have had full screen time.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Good point. Film Elitist. What did you think of the new Suicide Squad kind of material that we've seen? And
I didn't love it. I thought the first trailer was better than the second one. I don't know contextually, is Katana a huge character? Is this a cardinal sin to remove her, or?
No, I just think you've got one Asian character in the whole fucking thing, and you're just going to take them out rather than when she was underserved in the first movie, and then just take her out and not even do anything with her. I don't get that. To me, there was space between Polka Dot Man, some remove arm man, fucking all of these stupid characters. Pete, who's the character? Pete, what is it? Pete, what's his name? That stupid comedian Pete Davidson's playing. I mean, come on, man. Seriously? Like you can't like keep the Asian character in like over any of those guys. Kitana, rather, I should stop calling her Asian character, but like,
Wait, Nerman.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, sorry. There actually is an Asian woman in the cast. She's like a bodybuilder or like a fitness trainer or something like that. I don't remember her name, but I don't think she's been in any trailers. But I know that she's in the movie. I think she's actually under like heavy makeup or prosthetics or something.
Oh, the one playing that orange girl. The orange girl.
Yeah, the orange girl.
Oh, really?
I'm willing to.
She's gonna get killed off.
I'm willing to make a bet that Viola Waller is gonna be. That's her name, right? Viola Davis, Amanda Waller.
Viola Davis, yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Waller.
I got to be honest. I don't really care about these characters. The Suicide Squad, I don't care. But I think Viola Davis is an awesome actress, and I think they're probably going to make her a huge focus of this movie. So maybe that's why they feel like they can toy with the cast a little bit, because they're like, a black woman's going to be front and center on this. So, you know, just a thought. I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to think about how the studios look at this.
That's their pattern. You're not wrong for guessing that. I'm going to co-sign that also. And I think AMBW, whatever you're, before I finish my point, what is your, like, what do you want to go by? AMBW? What?
Oh, he's gone.
I think he dropped out.
Like what he was saying about there's this going to be Asian cast member. It's this bodybuilder type. Okay, then that's probably why Katana could go. They look and they say, we've already checked that box. We don't need Katana anymore. She's
orange, dude, and she's getting killed off in the first.
Is it an Asian person who's doing the acting? Yes. Check. That's how they're thinking, and it's so transparent. There's so many. It's not a one-off which I'm reacting to. It's just a history of repeated behavior that I'm reacting to come to these conclusions. They got their Asian quota.
Yeah. Well, you know, Film Elitist, funnily enough, the one thing that Suicide Squad did achieve for me in the first movie was caring about the characters. Like, I really did. Like, by the end of it, I did care about Viola Davis's character. I did care about Will Smith's character, and I certainly cared about Harley Quinn, Boomerang. I did care about them. I just wish they were in a better movie. That was it. They were good characters. They were good. I think
there were a couple of really good performances in that movie. Will Smith and Viola Davis and was it Jai Courtney as Boomerang was also surprisingly pretty excellent. Yeah. It's just the rest of the team. And there are a lot of members. That's what I was speaking.
No, there weren't. There was about 3 more members, and I even would say that the fire guy was interesting as well. Like, he had a nice little arc. So I don't. The characters were fine. I mean, you had some characters say some stupid shit, but they weren't. Big parts of it was like the crocodile guy. He said something stupid at one point, but I'm like, he only had like 2 lines in the movie, right?
Yeah.
So I don't care. But the characters who had prominent roles in the movie were funny or engaging, or you know.
You think Katana was?
Katana didn't have that much to do in the movie, but I did like that fight scene that she was in, where she was talking to that Yakuza boss or whatever. I thought she was pretty cool in that. So I just wanted to see more from her. I'm not saying she was a good character. I'm just saying she's an Asian character. We want some more representation. One of the reasons the movie actually did so well was because it was probably, of any comic book movie, had the most diversity in it, from white characters, black characters, Asian characters, etc.
Sure.
So you know, I wanted it to keep that vibe. Personally.
I just think what Chillmonger is co-signing on, and what I was trying to say, and he seems to agree with me, is that when you have Idris Elba and Viola Davis being such a huge part of this movie, as a studio, they're probably thinking of it as like, we don't really have to focus on any other parts of diversity. Like, we've got that box checked. That's all.
Yeah,
we're just being pragmatic here, you know.
And that's why the Superman movie, after the announcement of it, the Black Superman movie, that thing that Ava DuVernay was going to do, that's dismissed. We're already doing something black. We don't need that. The Static Shock thing they talked about at DC Fandom, that's off the table now. Yeah, we're already doing something black. It's there in front of you.
I don't know if the Static Shock is off the table, but
Well,
yeah,
maybe it
I
was.
get what you mean.
Maybe it was delayed a few years because our black thing of 2022 is the Superman film.
Yeah, which is dumb. Anyway, so let's react to this Suicide Squad latest thing. And I'll tell you my thoughts after, and then you football off that.
Sharks. We thought we'd uncovered the many mysteries these creatures of the deep have to offer. We were wrong.
Yes, that is very good.
We're all gonna die.
The Nawe is a descendant of God.
That's very kind of nice.
Kind of glitching in there, man.
Yes, choppy.
He's developed a taste for human meat.
No.
Did you eat your friends?
No. You are a little idiot. Hungry. In theaters on HBO Max, August 6th, rated R.
Yeah.
Wait, Nerdman, share my screen real quick. I got the 30-second version of it. You can play that. So we can see. It was kind of glitching up a bit.
Oh, where is it?
Here, I just shared my screen. I got it here.
Oh, okay, got you. No? Oh, there we go.
All right.
By the way, the trailer just after is the best trailer of Suicide Squad, the one that I was about to show. All right, go on.
Sharks. We thought we'd uncovered the many mysteries these creatures of the deep have to offer. We were wrong.
Yes, that is your hand. Very good.
We're all gonna die.
The Nawe is a descendant of an ancient shark god.
Yes, very kind of nice.
So smart, me.
He's developed a taste for human meat.
No.
Would you eat your friends?
No. You are a little idiot. Hungry. In theaters on HBO Max.
Hungry.
That's a compelling character. I just wish they hadn't have shown me that in the trailer because I'd love to be surprised and come out of that movie theater loving this King Shark character as like the surprise of the film.
You're fucking with me, right?
Oh no, I completely mean that. I thought that was a good trailer.
You're being
a good
sarcastic.
representation. I swear to you, I'm not being sarcastic. I liked that.
All right.
You know what that made me think?
I don't know.
Killmonger's enjoying the King Shark, but that TV spot made me think this is like something they're gonna put right in front of like South Park and Adult Swim and just run it like 24/7 for like a month leading up to the movie. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's just not where I'm at with comic book movies. Like that's not what I want to see, you know.
It's not what I want to see. And Idris Elba, I'm sorry, he's no Will Smith. If you're looking for a charismatic lead who can pull off those fucking lines like that and make them into something, Idris Elba he's a dramatic actor. You need him for like a big dramatic. He's not the comedy guy. I'm sorry, he just isn't. Like hearing him just trying to pull off these lines, I'm just like I'm not feeling
the persona
and
that they make.
Go on.
Oh, I'm sorry. The persona that they make him do in like the Fast and Furious movie, Hobbs and Shaw, and like it looks like they're doing it with this one, is not like the version of Idris Elba you want to see. You want to see like Idris Elba from The Wire, where he's like digging into a character and like examining the depths of what makes this person tick.
Right. Luther, Wire. I've seen him in other stuff where he's like that. This just does not work for him. It's not his style. I'm sorry. Like action guy like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Will Smith, that kind of thing. It takes a certain type of charisma to be able to do that and pull it off in a way where it's cheesy but it's fun. He's not a cheesy guy. I'm sorry, like that's it's almost a compliment, to be honest. I'm not like trying to diss the guy. He's not that guy.
Can I say that the King Shark scenes that all showed up on screen there? Remember, he's just an expensive CGI character, so he's not going to have much screen time. We saw the majority of his scenes right there in that trailer.
Yeah, he would be actually.
And that's why, look, I'll say this too, because I agree with Joe Monger. That's probably all we're going to see of King Shark. And another thing, the first Suicide Squad, because when they first was releasing Suicide Squad, when they first released back in 2017, I was like, why the fuck are you releasing a Suicide Squad film and the Justice League is not set up yet? But they did it, and I gave it a chance. it was okay to me. I really didn't like it. I like Will Smith and Harley Quinn, and it's it's the same thing here for me. I can care less about Suicide Squad. And if you're going to do the Suicide Squad, stop giving them Justice League level threats. They're about to fight Starro. And I'm over here wondering, like, does Superman and Batman and Superman's in ICU. He's been shot, whatever. But Wonder Woman, Flash, the Justice League is clearly formed in the Justice League movie. And Starro, who's a Justice League level threat, is going around destroying shit and they're not there. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? But hey, I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna watch it. Because none of the people on this team can fight Starro. I'm gonna be honest about that. None of these guys can fight Starro. And
I'm just wondering, like, I know what you're saying.
It's the same as
Enchantress. I'm wondering.
It's the same as Enchantress. She was doing like Justice League level world-ending threat stuff. Like her plot was world-ending. Starro is a sort of world-ending threat. You don't send in the Suicide Squad to do that stuff. If you've seen Batman Assault, if you guys seen Batman Assault on Arkham, those are the type of missions you base the Suicide Squad.
You send the Suicide Squad, yeah. No, I get it. I get it.
Into Arkham to steal stuff, or really small stuff. That's why Amanda Waller can use them.
But it still needs to be a suicide mission. So it has to be a scale, but it has to be a suicide mission. I was gonna say that, like,
not Justice League level.
To me, I didn't mind the threat that was in the whole Suicide Squad movie, as you said, was ill-conceived. The timing was wrong and everything. But for what it was, I just found the characters fun. That's it. And what they were doing didn't even matter that much to me. I could gloss over it in some ways, but I know a lot of people couldn't. They needed much more of a richer story. And I completely fucking get that. That being said, James Gunn's Suicide Squad, I am predicting is going to be fucking worse than that one. I'm not even joking. The story is going to be better and people might rep for it because of the fucking story or whatever. But the jokes in this, not one single fucking joke, not one single solitary joke. There was one that this Captain America guy, whatever he's called, played by John Cena, that he did that was slightly gave me a chuckle, but every single other one was pathetic fucking frat boy humor. This is what James Gunn is to me. He's a frat boy who has made it into the film industry, and he's a good visually good directing. He's got all the techniques down, but his jokes are obnoxious as shit. And the only reason that fucking Guardians work, is because he had Kevin Feige telling him, you've got a limit. You're PG-13. So he had to think of smarter jokes rather than just going for the piss and fart jokes that he really wants to do. And that's my fucking say on James Gunn. So anyone who wants to talk say anything from that.
I would just like to say that I actually agree with you. As much as I love the Marvel movies, I think this one's probably going to be even worse than the last. And I think world building is destroying comic book films. I think the quality of comic book films have dropped in the last 10 years comparative to what they were in the early 2000s, mid 2010s, in my opinion.
Hold on a minute. The world building is what makes comic book films for me. But I'll ask you this way. So the purpose of world building is so that they can during the team films. Are the team films bad, like Infinity War, Endgame, Civil War? Were those bad to you?
No, I think the end result of what they're leading to, like with Civil War, the Avengers movies, Endgame, Infinity War, those were better films than a lot of the solo films because they pay the expense of the world building.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, I think that these solo movies, I've got much less reason to watch them because I can just go watch the team up movie and figure out what's going on. I don't need to watch all this other stuff. And the characters' stories are suffering at the expense of world building. I think Loki,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Does anyone have anything else to say? AMBW, you want to say something on what I just...
I mean, I do see your argument there. I just honestly feel like, this time, it kind of seems like WB interfered less with this Suicide Squad movie than they did with David Ayer's cut way back in 2016.
And I think
So
they should have done it the opposite way around. But anyway, go on.
no, I mean, like honestly, I am looking forward to it. I am just like in general, I'm glad that movies are coming back now. But like honestly, like aside from basically just aside from this movie, I feel like WB really needs to get their fucking shit together, and just because they honestly don't know what they're doing. Like, didn't they announce like a fucking like Plastic Man movie or Our Man movie or something like that?
They're doing a Super Pets movie. I don't know why they're wasting their time. They have got a limited amount of time, and they need to be doing the movies that need to be coming out, and they're wasting time with Super Pets movies. This guy is a horror producer, Walter Amada, and I think what he's trying to do is make a fast buck off of cheap movies. And that's what he's kind of like, that's what they do with the horror model. That is not going to work and allow DC to be competitive in a fucking superhero fucking film kind of, like basically superhero films are now at the cutting edge. You look at for everything I say about Infinity War, look at the way this movie looks. Look at the CGI. It's top notch. You cannot just come in, make these cheap fucking comic book movies unless it's something like The Joker and expect it to be competitive in a market for superhero movies. It's just not going to happen.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, honestly, like I kind of like remember what Todd Phillips, who directed The Joker, said.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, sorry. I remember that they did an interview with him, and he told them that I think like during his pitch for Joker, that he said that you guys need to stop competing with Marvel. You ultimately just need to do what Marvel can't, and basically that's sort of how I guess like the Joker was kind of born. Is basically like it's basically Taxi Driver, but like with characters from the Batman universe in it. But obviously it was rated R. It was really edgy. It was bloody. It had a lot of cursing, all that stuff. And I'm kind of curious, I mean, like, if they keep going down that road, for instance, like, they make like solo films for obscure characters or solo films for like villains, like Lex Luthor, that might actually work. That might be like another interesting,
I'd love
direction.
them to do that, but they're not doing that. That's the thing. They're trying to do MCU humor movies like the Suicide Squad, and I think it's being done. They literally have taken the director from the MCU to do that. And I don't think it works. Film that approach works. Hopefully Zatanna sounds like it's going to be a horror movie, by the way. So that sounds cool. But they need to do, as you said, I think they should be doing those movies like The Joker on the side, right? And maybe like the Batman on the side. And then two, building up their universe with like a little bit more serious tone movies than the MCU movies. But the MCU's doing it already. They've already brought out Black Widow, which already is starting to move in the direction I think film goers' tastes are going in. But anyway, Film Elitist, before I go on to talk about, because I've got to go soon, but I'm going to talk about the Superman and Lois episode last. But has anyone seen that, by the way?
I watched it this morning.
Oh, cool. All right. Film Elitist, then K-Dot. Anything else to say about like my man James Gunn and his Suicide Squad? His damn Suicide Squad.
I just wanted to piggyback off of what you guys were talking about for a second. I think with the Joker film, the entire reason it was what it was is that Todd Phillips came in with a vision. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these cases, it's not like that. A lot of these cases, it's we've got to make these movies, so we've got to build up a team event and a crossover, and let's just get somebody that can get the stuff we need in there to build the universe done. And the Joker is a different thing. The Joker is like one man's vision. It's not connected to they need to figure out what's connected and what isn't is the problem, in my opinion. Because some of it's like it shouldn't be connected, in my opinion. It should just be its own thing. And then there's some of the stuff that they try to make it its own thing should be connected. Because you have a massive quality discrepancy in some of these films, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
And even last thing I'll say, even if they're going with the multiverse, you still need to be consistent in connecting. Like if you're focusing, because they said doing the multiverse, that's even bigger than the MCU's about to go into the multiverse. They was doing focusing on one linear universe first. They need to make it even more obvious what connects and what doesn't. Because like I say, the Batman movie takes place in Earth 2. Stargirl takes place in Earth 2. You know, like, how are they going to make these connections work? Because what if they do some dumb shit like they say there's 2 Earth 2s and not 1 Earth 2? Warner Brothers is probably dumb enough to do that. They're like,
did we say Earth 2? No, we saying it takes place on Earth 2. Like also, Earth as well.
Their whole multiverse is fucking bullshit. Their multiverse is basically so that they can have excuses to just do solo, like directors just do their own thing. Director-driven movies. That's it. That's all their multiverse is. I don't buy for a second that they've got some big multiverse plan strategy. They haven't even thought of. Dude, it's just so terrible because if they had have got Superman right, for instance, we could have had a Red Sun by now. We could have had a Red Sun movie, you know, and done it in the similar vein as what Matt Reeves did with the Joker. Or sorry, what Matt Reeves is doing with the Batman and what Matey did with the Joker. So I don't know, man. It's such an easy roadmap to me that I don't get how they can be fucking it up. And it's not the filmmakers who are fucking it up. It's the management at Warner Brothers that are fucking it up, in my opinion. I think the films broadly have been successful. They've been financial successes or successful critically and financially. So that it's not a big problem. They just need more and a little bit more consistency, and you know, and to have a little bit. It's not a huge roadmap. It's just put the solo characters out and put a team movie out. That's it. I don't think it's not fucking rocket science.
I think part of the issue is like there's so many different fandoms contained within the singularity that is the DC, you know, movies, either singular or connected. Like you have people that really like the Snyder Cut, and then you have people that really don't like either of the Justice League movies, and then you have people that love Aquaman and people that hate it. It's like there's no consensus feeling of like there's a reason to go see all of these movies. It's like people are going to see the movies that they think are the ones that are going to be good. You know what I'm saying? There's no expectation of like this is all going to be one
connected thing. And I think they need to do that a little bit just to like connect them a little bit, but I don't think they need to I don't think they need to do it like Marvel, basically take baby steps, right? Like just say that this thing's going on in the same universe, maybe have a little bit of a nod to another movie so that that people get interested in seeing that.
They need to create a Justice League movie that works for the masses is what it really comes down to. They don't have to do a bunch of event movies, but when they do them, people need to widely accept like that was a good movie and I want to go see the sequel so they can move on to the bigger stories. Like you're saying, like we have Civil War, Endgame, Infinity War. We have all these event movies, even though Age of Ultron, you know, whatever, it's still.
What do you say we?
I'm saying we as the audience.
Oh right, I thought you meant we as in like MCU fans
from the
like,
comics, and you
I
want
told
to
you it's the sports team. You bullshit. I knew you meant we like MCU.
I'm
like,
saying as fans, we've been lucky to have some of these big event, even Days of Future Past with the X-Men movies. Like we've been lucky to have these, but with the DC universe, we haven't really gotten that. You know, and that's an indictment on like their ability to just connect with the masses overall, because there's a lot of different people watching different parts of these films. They have different allegiances and stuff, you know. Some people just like the Snyder stuff. Some people like everything that's not the Snyder stuff. It's like there's this disconnect.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah, I know, and I wish the DC fans could get together and like. I don't like Aquaman that much, but I'm not going to shit on people who like Aquaman. I understand it, I get it, like, and it's fine for it to be there. It's a different tone, different. It's like Fast and Furious Under the Sea or whatever. I get that there are people who are fans of that kind of shit. The only thing I would probably be against is something that I think people are universally against, which is Wonder Woman 84 and Justice League, right?
Yeah.
You know, those are the only two films I really absolutely can't justify. I can even justify Birds of Prey a little bit. But for me, anything that's successful in the DCEU, I don't care what it is or if I don't like it. Just get behind it as a fucking DC fan. Like, you know, in the sense of, I'm not saying that you can't say, oh, I want them to improve in certain areas. Like, I want the storytelling to be like a bit better or something like that. You can be constructive about it, but just being a faction that if I like the Snyder stuff, so I'm not going to watch anything else that isn't Snyder, or I fucking hate Snyder, so I'm not, if they bring out a Justice League 2, I'm not even going to give it a chance. It's like, that's crazy to me, you know. It's like it's
Anyway, you gotta
like,
go.
There's the WCW, and then there's this NWO. But then that's going to divide into the Wolfpack and Hollywood, and it's going to just keep on dividing and dividing. Anyone who gets that reference gets that reference.
Oh, that was
I get it. I got it.
I just want to say, I know you got to go, and I don't really watch Superman and Lois, so I'm going to bounce out after this. I appreciate you having me on.
No problem, man.
I know some people disagree with me, but I think the best thing that they could do is, if the Batman movie is what we think it could be, take the characters like Wonder Woman, Aquaman, that are pretty much like everyone's okay with them across the board, dump the 80% of the other stuff that it's like nobody has a consensus on it, and merge the universes in some kind of like Flashpoint paradox thing. You know what I mean? And just have that be the Batman, have Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, have Jason Momoa's Aquaman, and just do Justice League in a couple of years after you build from that Batman movie. Because it's like, it's basically a fresh start, you know, it's believable. Like, that's the best thing they could do, in my opinion.
No, I agree. I agree in a lot of ways. I thought that was what they were going to do with Robert Pattinson's Batman, to be honest.
Hey, let me ask you a question about Dave. You know the song Black from the UK rapper? No?
No. No. Can we talk about it off stream? Because I do need to, like, but is it? I haven't seen him or seen the song yet, but I'm really interested. I was just gonna say, who's seen the Superman and Lois? You said it was K. Dot. Should we talk about that very quickly? And Film Elitist, man, you can jump out. No worries, man.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. It was fun being on.
Thanks, man. Thanks so much.
Yeah, I can talk about it real quick. I just watched it. It's sort of fresh in my head, but I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say this, just to dive into it. Superman glasses is the best magical item to ever exist on this damn planet. Best thing to exist in fiction. Because oh man. This episode has some funny work, but I overall liked it.
It was awesome. But like, I don't get how the fuck, you're right about that. There was a scene where I was sure Irons knew that Clark Kent was Superman by now.
Yeah, I thought he knew.
Like, because the kids came in and were like, "Oh, we know where he is." Like, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like they came in, everyone was there. They said they knew where Superman was. How the fuck would they know where Superman is if they're not his kids? Like, and they don't have. Like, I don't get how he hadn't figured that out yet. But yeah, you're right. Those glasses must be amazing source. In terms
the
of
best
this
magical
guy.
item in fiction, man. But I'll say this about the episode. I mean, and this goes off of the last episode. I didn't like how they portrayed Superman in the final parts of the episode. He gave up too easily. He didn't fight hard enough, in my opinion. But in this episode, what they did was, because I didn't know the evil Superman from John Henry Irons universe was Zod in Superman's body, so it was never Clark. That was Zod in his body. They took his conscience and put it inside Superman to take over his body. So it's been Zod this whole time.
Yeah.
Because I thought because I was wondering, like, wait a minute, what is going to make Superman turn to work with the Kryptonians and become evil? Well, they robbed him of his conscience and took his body from him and put another Kryptonian inside of it. John Henry Irons, I like this suit. He looked like the Doomslayer from the if y'all played the Doom games, Doom Eternal and stuff. He literally looks like the Doomslayer with a hammer. He didn't really have like a steel suit with the Superman logo on it, which I think since he's now established to be working with Superman in a sense now, he's going to eventually get his own steel logo. He's going to have the S on it, maybe the red cape. He's going to change his suit, but this is just like a prototype suit for now to what his new suit will be. And another part of this episode that I did like that was kind of effed up, fucked up. Everybody bullying Lana's husband for promoting Morgan Edge.
He deserved it.
I mean, but you know, that's if he knew what Morgan Edge was doing. Like, I understand why he was promoting Morgan Edge and stuff, because, you know, he was bringing jobs and stuff to Smallville, which is a small, you know, cattle farming town and stuff. You know, it's not really a place where you can make profit and make any bank. And Morgan Edge was trying to come and bring jobs, supposedly. But we kind of find out he actually want to make his own Kryptonian army. But I understand why the people of the town are pissed at him, because they think he knew what Morgan Edge was doing since he was one of the Kryptonians. But mind you, Lana's husband does not know that. Well, he didn't know. He just thought Morgan Edge was this, you know, cool guy trying to, you know, help bring jobs.
No, he knew that they were going to give them cheaper jobs and shit like that, like cheaper level. Let me ask something very quickly. Chill, you look, if you have no interest in the Superman and Lois show, right? You should watch it though. I really it's better than every MCU show.
DC.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I mean, I say
content.
Don't give me Falcon and
I mean, it's better than one. I'll say it's better than one shit at least. But Loki,
what universe is it connected? Are there going to be?
Are you crazy right now?
This show to other places? No. Therefore,
why does that have to be? Can't you just enjoy a show? Does Breaking Bad have to have like implications for another fucking unit? When did storytelling become like this? I have no idea that like you have to watch a movie that has to be connected to other movies for you to fucking enjoy it. It's like it's crazy. It's not even that good when they've done it in the MCU. So I don't understand why it's become the format for enjoying. No, but let's be real here. I mean, it's been done quite good, but not fucking excellently. I mean, they've sacrificed a lot of the good, you know, potential in storytelling, like stakes, like a proper drama, you know, like as opposed to you know, the paper, like as I said, like characters who haven't got that much depth as well. They've sacrificed all of that to be able to tell this long form story, right? And I don't think they're the best individual movies as an achievement over a long series of films. Absolutely incredible, nothing like it. Individual films themselves, are they all-time classic movies? No. Sorry,
there's definitely better writing.
It's this because I see what Killmonger's point. It's this because this is what they're offering us. Like, you know, the CW, like this. When we started at Arrow, I didn't think Arrow was going to turn into this big CW verse, the Arrowverse, and it became that. And mind you, it was one of the shows that started.
Yeah, go on.
Well, first 2 seasons of Arrow was pretty good. The rest is trash. But mind you, they started something, they built something, started doing this like big connected TV universe. and everybody else wanted to do it. And even with Marvel, they wanted to do this big connected movie universe. When these studios give it to us and they want to do it, it's like, all right, you're gonna do it. All right, I'm gonna hold you to it. Now, if you don't do good with it, then you're going to have to take a huge L for attempting to do this. They're the ones giving it to us. I'm not asking for it. For me, stuff being in a cinematic form, a universe or a TV universe, it's an add-on. It's an add-on or whatever. I don't hold it against the show, but if the show is based around that, building to something else, being one big commercial to tease the next thing, then it's like, I'm gonna treat it as so.
All right, let chill, because I think he wants go on.
But mind you, Superman and Lois it's self-contained, right?
It's self-contained and it's very good.
It's connected to Supergirl, Flash, and all that, but it's all focused on Superman.
Yeah,
that's why
and
I like
much better. But anyway,
that's why I like it.
No, it is good. It is good. Go on, chill. What did you want to respond to me? Because K-Dot kind of came in before.
First of all, hi to Ashley, and secondly, it's Ashley. Because I favor the connective stuff. That stuff is higher on my priority list than it is for you guys. Sure, Breaking Bad is awesome. Sherlock is an awesome show with Benedict Cumberbatch, and everything is written to pay off. And if he's going to pretend, Sherlock I'm talking about, if he pretends like he knows the answer to something about why there's scars on your knees, he's going to explain it to you, and everything gets answered, and it's just so rewarding. I get my rewards in the long term with the connectivity stuff.
I get that.
So that's what I like the most about it, and I like it, and it seems to mean more to me than it does to you.
Oh no, I'm not. Look, my point is that the long form thing is an achievement, but individually, movies have to sacrifice some things to achieve that. Especially early on. I think now that he's refined, Kevin Feige's maybe refining this formula a bit. He's being a little bit more experimental with shows like Loki and shows like Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Black Widow recently. So we're getting a little bit more diversity in different things. And actually, for the first time, I thought that in Black Widow, a supporting cast in one of these movies was used really, really well. Like they used the actors well as instruments to really tell, portray some compelling characters with layers to them, as opposed to the rest of the MCU where these characters are not, again, they're not. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer on the MCU at all, because I know the reason that they've done these things. I know the reason why initially it was a big undertaking, and you didn't want to, push, the envelope too much with like individual filmmakers when you've got this big overarching story that you're trying to achieve. So I get it. But I do think that it meant that for me, very few of those movies were actual classics or actually matched up to even a movie like Independence Day. Right. I think that's a better, more well-crafted movie than 99% of Marvel MCU movies. And that's not even a great movie. That's just a basic action movie. That's just how I feel about it. I'm not. But anyway, back to Superman and Lois. I was just saying, like, you should watch it, man. Give it a chance. But if you're really not that interested, that's fine. But Superman and Lois, I thought it's just been getting better and better and better. I honestly think the last 2 episodes. All right, Superwise is coming. Hey, man, what's up?
It's just, Nerman, can I be honest? This is my only issue with the CW. That I have to give, I have to edge it out to the Marvel shows, which they're doing good at so far.
Yeah. Why are you edging out the Marvel shows over Superman and Lois?
No. It's just in one aspect. the action, the budget with the action, the choreography and stuff, right?
Sure, I agree with you.
Mind you, dude, I like the Superman Lois. I like it, but this action, mind you, Warner Brothers and CW is not putting the money into this stuff like they should. They're holding back still. While they made Superman's costume look a little better, it looks like there's a bunch of padding in it for sure. And
this should be a movie. It should be a movie. This Superman and Lois shit, like really,
or even an HBO Max show. This should be an HBO Max show. Like this stuff, like Superman and Lois, should go to HBO Max because it's going to be better on HBO Max because HBO has better writers, they'll get better directors. The CW, their directors and writers and stuff, I'll be honest, they're lacking in some parts. Like Stargirl, I wish I was on HBO Max. That show doesn't need to go to CW because they're going to fuck it up. After two seasons, Nerman, I'm predicting this now. Superman and Lois for the first 2 seasons will be solid, but after that, the show's done. Because they're going to keep on dragging it out.
They'll drag it out, and they're making too many episodes per season as well. I think there's another episode right after this. Like 14 episodes is too much. They should have.
I think that's enough. I think that's enough. It's better than like 23 because Flash is like 23 episodes.
Yeah, no, I know that. Yeah, but go on. I want to get Superwise's thing after this, but K. Dot go.
Stargirl. Stargirl was 13 episodes for the first season. Perfect. And even with the Marvel shows, I like that they're 9 episodes, 6 episodes and stuff because this stuff, they connect to the movies and stuff. But some of these superhero stuff, just in general, some of these superhero stories do not need to be dragged out because once you drag them out for too long, they start to become uninteresting. Like some of these stories work good in just a little time frame. You work with that small time frame, and boom, you make it pop in a small time window.
But I think Superman and Lois has got into its stride, and I thought the acting even was better in this episode. I just thought all of it was delivered much better, and the action, everything, and it's got some really interesting ideas, like having the Fortress of Solitude in the desert, like for the Morgan Edge. I like that shit. I thought it's a really good, and if you're a superhero fan, not some Doctor Who or whatever fan, you're actually a superhero fan, this is a great show for people who are actually fans of that shit. So Superwise, have you caught up with Superman and Lois at all, or did you come in here to speak about Loki?
No, I was in the Enzo stream and we had a great discussion about Loki episode 6, but I just wanted to pop in. And yeah, Superman and Lois is a freaking great show. The fact that this is a CW show blows my mind to pieces. K-Dots, you're totally right. It should be an HBO Max show because when people see Superman and Lois and they see that it's under the CW banner, people are going to be like, oh God, it's going to be awful. Like, I'm glad I gave it a chance. It should be an HBO Max show since HBO Max actually put money into the show. But yeah, I've been watching all the episodes weekly, man. I just watched the most recent one. Damn good. It was pretty damn good.
It's getting better and better and better, right? It's the last 2 episodes killed it.
Yeah, it's getting consistently good. And there are a total of 15 episodes, and we're on what? We're on 12, so 3 more episodes. It's 3 more. It's weird. Did tonight's episode or today's episode, didn't that feel like an ending to you to the season? I felt like that was a good ending.
Yeah, kind of did.
The last episode felt like an ending as well. I thought the Green Lantern was going to show up in this because that guy cool, right? Who was in it he picked up a Green Lantern ring. So I was like, oh shit, they're going to bring Green Lantern to fight Morgan Edge, but they didn't do it.
Oh no, they're about to have Green Lantern and Stargirl.
I know Stargirl. I haven't seen Stargirl yet.
Stargirl's good, but
first season's good.
The first season is good, but it's to me, it's a really good show for an audience that isn't me. If you put like, I would recommend this
Oh,
to
for a
like,
Zack Snyder fan, got it. I'm joking, nerd man.
no,
He's like, I'm done.
Stargirl just in concept is not my kind of character. It's just
Yeah,
in
yeah.
concept. But if this is the best possible show you could do about a character like Stargirl, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's much like Spider-Man is not my favorite hero or even in my top 20, 30. But I can admit that the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, 1 and 2, are the best possible thing you could do of that specific character. Same with well, maybe not Amazing Spider-Man 1, but like that's a pretty good version of that, or some of the Spider-Man animated shows as well. They're the best possible versions you could do of that character, but it's not. I'm not going to go back and rewatch the Spider-Man 90s cartoon the way I'm going to do the X-Men, because I like the X-Men in concept more than Spider-Man. Do you get what I'm saying? Like now, that Stargirl's really, really good. It really is, but it's just Stargirl as a character doesn't do it for me. No one has anything to say.
No,
to that.
yeah, I get that. I totally get that.
I understand. I feel you. Stargirl, I didn't think it was gonna be for me, but the show's kind of more for like young adults and teens and stuff. To be honest,
It is. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm still young. I'm like 21. I like it, not just because it's like there's a lot of young adult and teen stuff that makes me cringe nowadays. Like it does. But that's because it's a product of this new whack generation that's like on TikTok and shit. It's a product of that bullshit. But Stargirl felt like, honestly, it would have, if it came out in the early 2000s, like it
would have blown up.
Yeah, like it feels like a show that came out in the early 2000s. It feels like came around like around the time Smallville dropped.
Yeah, it feels like Smallville again. Like that's what I'm saying. Like a Smallville with better CGI and better action. Like I think that's what it feels like to me.
Does Stargirl have a better song than Smallville did?
Come say, I don't even think it has a theme song. The Stargirl theme, like the intro, is not even memorable. I don't even think there is an intro. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, K-Dot, you said it yourself, man. If I was about between the ages of 12 to about 18, I would fucking love Stargirl as a show. Like when I was 12 to 18, that show would have been my jam, like completely. It's a really good show. I'm not trying to put people off it. It's genuinely a good show that I'd give a chance, and I want to finish it. It's just I didn't like feel the urgency like to finish it, but I'm going to, because it was very well done.
The finale was a bit underwhelming, but yeah, definitely finish it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, what did you like? So what did you have to say about? I don't know if I want to say anything more about Superman and Lois. Like it's just fantastic. It's like from episode, I think it's a really good. It doesn't connect too much to the CW, which I'm glad. I think the acting is it's like they're getting more confident or something in the show and the material, and they're like, oh, this is actually really good. I'm gonna like do some real acting here and really dig in. And the chick that plays Lois is slowly becoming my favorite fucking Lois Lane,
and that's like, understandable. Really, she nails it.
Yeah.
What I will say about Superman and Lois is, Tyler Hoechlin is now my favorite, or my second favorite Superman. Of course, Christopher Reeve being number one, but in the Arrowverse, I was like, this Tyler Hoechlin dude, I don't like this dude at all. And then I see his own show, and I was like, damn, this guy is Superman. Hell yeah. And it's a nice balance because a lot of people complain about Man of Steel, how it's too dark. Well, this show focuses on a Christopher Reeve like Superman, and it has a little bit of a darker tone. So it's like the best of both worlds, kind of. And it's just amazing how Tyler Hoechlin is now like my second favorite Superman, and I want to see him in the movies and stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
I want to see him in the movies. I think they should just move him to the fucking movies. Honestly, it makes me. He could be the Superman in the Patterson universe. It makes me angry. It makes me more angry at Snyder at how much he's like. I know people. I get it. Like, he tried to do something different. Tried to make him more relatable. Whatever the fuck that means. You know, like, they could have just started off with a Superman like this in the DCEU with the budget. This deserves the budget. Do you know what I mean? To do those big, spectacular Superman action scenes with a Superman you actually care about.
Sure.
And I still think he could have existed in something like a Snyder universe where people were scared of him and were like, you know, hey, what's with this guy? You know, can we trust the aliens and stuff? All of that could have been done with a Superman like this. And it shows it by, as you said, because it is tonally quite, it's got dark elements to it, the tone, right? Yeah.
And
so
mind you, this is a new challenging take to Superman's character. You know, Superman. Well, you know, in a show, I mean, I don't even know what his job is. I'm not sure if he works on the farm, whatever. But this is a new challenging take with his character because you have Superman having to be a husband, a father of 2 kids, full-time superhero, and whatever shit he's doing on the fucking farm. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Does he even
yeah, they never really explore that. That's so true.
Dude, I've been questioning since the first episode. What the fuck is his
What's he doing on this farm?
What does he do?
That's a very good point.
It's so funny. You know,
you see him work on the farm, but you don't see him like feeding any cattle or nothing.
Where are the animals?
Where are the animals on this freaking farm? It's so true. Point. That no wonder the fucking Kents went broke and shit. They have no fucking cattle.
Nerman. That's why they had to put the router inside the barn up really high.
Oh, do you know what? Chill, I tried to trigger you a minute ago, by the way, and you didn't fall for the bait. Like, I mentioned every other Spider-Man apart from the MCU Spider-Man just to try and trigger you, but you didn't fall for it, which is good. Well done for not falling for that.
But anyway, surpassed.
It's not just a name.
Yeah. But yeah, like what were we talking about? Yeah, these fucking guys in the barn. But
give me a spin off of that.
Just the barn animals, just like Superman, like milking. How does Superman milk a cow? You know,
just no dialogue, just that.
Yeah,
for 45 minutes. That'd be pretty funny. Yeah. But I'm loving the show right now. It's and it's already been renewed for season 2. You haven't watched it?
Super though? Does it feel like it's not a TV show like the way Loki sort of does?
If the show feels freaking cinematic, man.
Okay, good.
With CGI, and it's surprised that you could take my word for it because I absolutely hate the Arrowverse. I hate everything except for Superman and Lois. Like, that is quality, man.
Yeah,
I'm surprised you haven't seen it, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, you haven't seen it. Oh, right.
Yeah, I have to see Stargirl, then I'll give my thoughts on that. But yeah.
Wait, didn't K-Dot say it's on Earth 2 and not the Arrowverse Earth?
What, Superman and Lois? Yeah, I think it's. I haven't been keeping up. Oh, I haven't seen
Stargirl has been confirmed to be in Earth 2. This is the thing. Chillmonger, when they did the Flash crossover, they confirmed that's when they confirmed the movies and TV is all connected. The CW, the CW Earth, the CW. The main universe is the Prime universe where all this. That's why I even hate it even more because the Prime CW verse doesn't even have fucking Superman. They're not even a Prime Justice League. It pisses me off. It makes me fucking mad. So basically,
dude, the only thing I can watch from those other CW shows is those crossovers because they're the only cool things.
They're fun.
Like, I watch the crossovers and then I just stop watching it.
Look, I'm gonna say this. Chill as a DC fan, I'm kind of mad But hey, it's whatever. I'm stuck with this shit. But,
So what should I
but yeah,
watch
they're
first?
connected.
I'm gonna watch one thing tonight.
Yeah.
Will it be the Zack Snyder 4-hour cut, or should it be Superman and Lois?
Oh,
Wait,
man.
wait a second. Wait a second. Wait. You haven't seen Zack Snyder's Justice League?
I haven't seen it. I don't know how to get it in Canada. I'm pretty sure you have to subscribe to a TV service first, and then you can get the add-on. But I never cared enough to even figure out how to do it.
Don't they have Hulu? Doesn't Hulu have the HBO add-on?
It's something called Crave. Yeah, that's what I mean. The whole add-on thing. I don't even have Hulu. So if that's the way to do it, I don't want to do it. I'll pirate it tonight. I mean, I'll check if it's available.
I think
put yourself out there.
I'm literally right now in shock, bro.
Well, the whole time I was just keeping quiet, not letting you guys know. But secretly, I haven't seen that movie.
You haven't seen Zack Snyder's Justice League. Wow.
I don't care enough. I haven't seen Wonder Woman 84 either, but theaters were closed, so I'm like,
consider yourself lucky.
You don't need to watch
that. You skip right over that one, buddy.
I'll get to it. I'll get to it.
I mean, I'll be honest. You should watch
honestly, don't.
Yeah, genuinely, trust our words.
Okay.
But I'm not saying it's great, but you should watch it. It's definitely a better film than the Whedon version. It's a better movie.
I'll see where I can make 4 hours, and I'll check it out.
Yeah, but if you're bored and you have an hour, go ahead and pop up an episode of Superman and Lois. You're gonna have a good time. It's a great way to just chill.
To be honest, it's a bit of it's not a slow burn. They're all good, but these last 3 episodes have been something else, man. I think the last 3-4 episodes, I'm like, wow, this is really getting good. Now, they've really hit their stride. I think it was from the episode of the big reveal. Don't spoil, but the big reveal about the villain. The villain or whatever. So that from that episode onwards, it's been killer. It's been really, really good. But yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing season 2. I really hope they stick to story and characters, and it's gonna be so sad to see the show lose its way if they milk it.
If they mess it up, it's really going to be quite a sad thing because they've got something good going. But guys, I'm going to leave it there. I think unless somebody has anything really pressing they need to say, It just feels more like a good time to cut it off. But if you have something you really want to say, feel free. Have at it.
No, I'm good for now. I mean, thanks for having me on.
I'm glad I could pop in.
Oh, what's our grade for Loki and what's our grade for Superman and Lois? Those who've watched it.
Wait, do you want it out of 10 or out of 5 for both? What's easier?
So let's do for Loki the series and for Superman and Lois the series so far, and then for the last
do you want
2
it
episodes.
out of 5 or out of 10? The grade.
I don't know.
I do it out of I do it out of 10.
Out of 10. So I'm gonna go start with the episode and then we'll go to series with Loki. So
I don't even remember what happened in which episode. That's a lot. I'll say the worst one was the Lamantis episode where the 2 Lokis fell in love, and that was a 2 out of 10. But the show
No. This episode with the last episode, finale episode. What is your ranking for that? Rating for it.
Well, since it was the finale and it did not wow me, I'll go as low as 5 out of 10 for the finale. Wow. But overall, the show was a 7. Good places in between. It had its faults with the action and fighting. It had its faults with character work on Loki, but the multiverse was explained to me, and I feel like that's a major goal to accomplish. They did that. They didn't need all 6 episodes to do it, but they did do it with the first episode. The second episode explained a little more with the examples of what a Nexus event is and when things go haywire. What's it called when we go astray? Is that Nexus
Nexus
event?
event?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
Nexus.
Nexus
so the
event.
volcano in Italy, that kind of stuff, they gave us visual examples. That's that's a great thing to accomplish. And then with Jonathan Major's character, he at the end of time or he below time, that guy, his explanation of how this all began in the 31st century was important for the whole show overall, but the episode was lacking. But the whole show, 7 out of 10.
By the way, MCU doing time travel again. Yay.
They did it twice. Endgame and Loki.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Their time travel is convoluted.
When you
as
get to
shit.
25 different projects, then you can tell me about how much we repeat things.
Oh no! I'm not it's not about repeating it. It's about the fact that in Endgame it made no fucking sense to time travel, and I'm hoping they do I'm hoping they do a better job of establishing in this whatever they're doing with this thing how time travel actually works. Because the way they did it before, absolute nonsense.
Well, they did explain it. There was a guy named Jonathan Major's character. That guy gets to say what is a permissible level of time manipulation and what is not allowed. And that guy who was in charge allowed for the end game time manipulation BS to happen. It was explained.
Yeah, that's why. And I'll say this real quick, because this Jonathan Majors character Kane revealed that all the stuff the TVA had been saying was bullshit because it didn't add up. Because I was like, Jonathan Majors wanted that endgame stuff to happen, but my thing is, why did he want this stuff to happen in that manner? But it's going to take a couple movies for us to know why he wants everything to happen in this way, and then reveal it. But he said it all has to happen. No. Remember, he said all everything was supposed to happen in a certain way. But he never told us why all this needed to happen in the way he needed it to happen. Well, mainly because the Kangs, but he was the one who created the TVA and the whole variant situation. Because the variant stuff is kind of bullshit based off the final episode. Because all the different Kangs and stuff, this variant stuff, I don't think that stuff is legit.
What was that thing about Gugu and her being a fucking headmistress or social worker or some shit? What was that? Why didn't they even put that in the episode? It was like she was just there for a second. They revealed this and then
because they had to prove they put her there to prove. Hunter B-15 wanted to prove to the other TVA people that Ravana, Gugu you call, was a variant. They was not willing to believe what a variant was. So when they saw Ravana, before she became part of TVA, that's when the guy was like, "Yo, what the hell is she doing here?"
Yeah, and then they just drop it for the rest of the episode. There's no conclusion to that afterwards. There's no I felt like that was the middle of that B storyline, and it was just okay.
I'll add to it, since the TVA seemingly reset because Mobius couldn't recognize Loki. It's important that Hunter B-15 and that one other TVA agent were outside of the TVA during the reset, so B-15 will retain her memories along with the other guy. She just kind of woken up. They're both going to be fine. So there is a good reason for that scene to show us she was outside during the reset period. Anyways, you asked us what we rate the episode. 7 out of 10 for the series as a whole. Whack episode.
I'll give it a grade of 6 out of 10 for the episode. Series overall, same as Chillmonger, 7 out of 10. Not 8, 9, or 10. 7 out of 10.
Wow.
No higher or lower.
Wow. Well, I'm different. I absolutely love the show. It's my favorite MCU Disney Plus series overall. I
just don't now. I don't want to hurt your feelings, Superwise. You're
I'm
my boy.
I'm just putting it out
You're
there.
my boy, Blue. So I don't want to fucking shit on your stuff. But
overall, I give the show a 9 out of 10. I thought it was great. It was like a Lethal Weapon in space. I loved Owen Wilson. I'm a huge Owen Wilson fan. He was great to have there. The episode the weakest episode was Lamentus episode 3. Yeah. This episode 6, I give it an 8 out of 10. You and I have very different opinions.
You broke Nerd Man super wise.
No, I can't do it. I'm sorry. Like, go on.
Listen, we can bring up your MCU and comic book movie tier list ranking.
People might think I'm doing that was completely involuntary. That was so involuntary. I didn't even mean to do that shit.
It was funny. He just.
I'm not trying to like gaslight your shit at all. But go on.
The Mandalorian finale was a 10 out of 10, right?
The Mandalorian. I give it like a 9 out of 10.
Okay, even better. So Loki was just one tad level below Luke Skywalker showing up and doing what he did. Loki was just the finale was just a little bit worse than that, right?
I would actually have to agree with that. Yeah, I preferred the Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to rewatch the series.
I think he was being sarcastic.
I was trying to show you how ridiculous what you're saying is.
I like the. Is it even fair to compare though? I don't know. Finales, maybe. Yeah, I like the Luke Skywalker one just a hair more than what we got today for Loki. But with Loki, I love the opening callback to Avengers Endgame with the It's a Long Time. That was nice with all the MCU voices. Jonathan Majors as Kang. Overall, I liked his performance. He was a little bit too goofy. I hope the actual Kang is a little more serious. But overall, yeah, Jonathan Majors, I liked him in the role. The tension between Sylvie and Loki was there emotionally. Tom Hiddleston really sold it. The kiss was I didn't think it was shot well. I didn't believe the kiss. What else?
That's what I said during my review. Go watch it. But I said like they shot Jonathan Majors' character, they got right in the background so that they can signal to the audience, yes, you should be feeling this kiss. Like they didn't just have his face here or her face here.
Yeah.
They had He Who Remains watching it like kind of like what a romantic kiss, because they know that there were going to be fans like me who were going to be on the edge about he's kind of.
I don't like the fucking queer baiting in this show, man.
Well,
that was kind of like a toss away line.
No, but then don't say the toss away line, because if he falls in love with that Loki because he falls in love with himself because he's so egotistical, then he should have fallen in love with the other male Lokis because he's now bisexual. I'm sorry, it's pure like the essence of like baiting people with like this kind of stuff and just throwing it in there for no fucking reason, just to go, oh, we've got representation now. Well, we don't, because he's a straight man. Let's be honest about it. This thing has proved he's a straight guy.
True. Yeah. True. Well, let's see what Eternals does. Eternals is supposed to have that big moment, so we'll see. But
I want to see a blowjob by him. I don't give a shit. I'm fed up of this baiting. I want to see it properly go down.
Oh my God forbid you get put in charge of the MCU. The stuff you would do would be off the charts. Oh my!
Trust me, man. The first thing would be Bucky and Cap America. Like, let's just do it like properly.
No.
Cowboys on Mountain style. Let's fucking get it. Let's get it fucking going.
Man, we can't hire you at the MCU, man. We think you're a Walter Hamada spy.
This guy, I'm with you to the end of the line, bro. I know. I fucking know.
You're ruining that line. Anyway, the ending with the whole we are in the multiverse of madness, which is pretty awesome, and all bets are off. Anything could happen with cameos and stuff like that. The ending itself with the timeline seemingly being erased, that was a pretty cool cliffhanger, and we're getting a season 2, which it was rumored by Deadline, but yeah, we're getting a season 2, and I'm ready. I'm ready for a season 2. I'm excited. I love this show. I can't wait to see more.
Superwise, I don't want to do this because I don't want you to hear this, because I love your boundless enthusiasm, and I feel like I'm, I don't know, like shooting
I'm a rare type
shooting
of
Bambi's
person.
mum or something. You know, like I don't I don't want to do. Look, it's. I'm gonna put it up a bit just for you. I'm gonna give the series a 5.5 out of 10 for what's it, Owen Wilson. He was really great. In 2 episodes he was really good. The rest of them he was okay, and they didn't give him much to do. And I like the last 5 minutes of this episode when he comes back and he's like, they don't know who he is. I thought that was pretty fucking cool. And
yeah, what a cliffhanger.
That's about it. Everything else, but one thing I do like is that it's different. That's one thing I do like. It is different feeling from other MCU films and projects. Like, it doesn't feel like it's just this homogeneous kind of like not amorphous, but homogeneous kind of like thing where it's all the same tone, it's the same type of comedy, it's the same type of action. This is actually very, very different in tonally. And almost feels like a genre in itself, and for that I respect it a lot, because I know that this one might not be for me, but the next one might be for me, because they're going to do different things and try and appeal to different people. So
it wasn't homogeneous, but it was lugubrious.
It was lugubrious a little bit.
It wasn't generic. That's what I liked about it. It went, outside of the box.
I don't think it was gloomy in a lugubrious sense, but it was certainly depressing. No, I'm joking. It was certainly. I enjoy more having the conversations with you guys after. So for that, at least I'll say that I enjoyed watching this series. Yeah, so it's a 5.5 for the series, and then I don't know, for the season I can't give it more than a 4. I really can't.
Wow.
This is the best episode apart from
that's the best episode you give it
number 1.
That's
no,
insanity.
it was a 5.5 for the series, and 5.5 for the episode, 4 for the season. There was 2 episodes I liked. There was one that it was just because it was Owen Wilson acting. It wasn't even that it was the storyline. It was just like Owen Wilson's just good. Like, he makes a difference to the show. And then the other one was the first episode again, which was just Owen Wilson acting, which I enjoyed when he was doing the interrogation. So had some emotional moments. So those were the 2. I would have given those about 6.7, those Owen Wilson episodes. And then the rest of them were not very good to me. I just, Sylvie wasn't good. Didn't like her as female Loki. Doesn't work for me, man. So
Maybe
that's
season
that.
2. We'll see.
Maybe season 2 will do it. It looks like it's a good setup for a good season, but I might not watch it just because it annoyed me so much that they saved this reveal to the last 5 minutes to be like, oh yeah, now something exciting is going to happen, but we forced you to watch all this stuff before. Anyway, Superman and Lois, for those who've watched it, last episode, I'm going to give a good 8, and I'm going to give the overall show a 7 so far.
Wow.
I think the last 3 episodes picked up. I think the teenagers are irritating as fuck, especially for the first 5 episodes. Even they improved in this episode, which was nice to see. But everything that is the teenagers brings the show down and makes it feel more CW-ish. Everything that is Tyler Hoechlin, the Black Lex Luthor, who's now Henry Irons, which I wished he was Lex Luthor instead, but that's fine. The Lois Lane, all of that stuff is what works in the show, and it's really, really good. They're really good. They're tight actors. They're much above what I expect from the CW. There's some nice action here. I wish it had a bigger budget for the special effects. But the story is tight, man. It's got me engaged. Once they revealed who Morgan Edge is, it's just been off to the races. So again, I think 8 for the episode, 7 for the show overall, mainly because of those teenagers and their storyline.
For me, the show overall is, I'd say 8.5 out of 10. Really, really loving it. Today's episode, I gave it an 8 out of 10. Just overall, I actually don't find the kids annoying. I think the family dynamic actually works. They feel like a family. And I think
if they were like you, super wise, then I might be more okay with them. Unfortunately, they're the other type of teenager.
It's just believable in my opinion. And Tyler Hoechlin is fantastic as Superman. Elizabeth Tulloch, she's a very good Lois Lane. And just the story, you're right, it's engaging. It's really engaging, and so every
you gave
Wednesday,
it 8.5
out of 10 for the show overall.
For the show, and the episode 8.5 as well?
No, just an 8.
Oh, just
solid 8.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm loving these episodes, and every Wednesday I'm coming back to the CW app because I want to see what's next. So I'm really engaged and I'm really loving the show. So.
K-Dot, before we go.
For this episode, I liked it. I'll give it a 8 out of 10. Show overall, 7 out of 10.
Fair.
Yeah.
Same thing so far with the kids, but mind you, at first I liked Jonathan. I hated Jordan, but now it's flipped. I like Jordan more than Jonathan now because Jonathan's petty as shit. Dude,
Yeah, but I think he's a better actor, Jordan, or whatever. No, Jonathan is a better actor. The guy who plays it.
I think I agree with that.
Well, as far as the brothers go, just the last thing I'll say about the brothers and their dynamic. The reason I hated Jordan before was he was such a whiny little bitch, right? Jonathan was a more confident, cool, cool guy and stuff. Then Jordan started becoming more confident with his abilities. And I'm like, okay, I like him more. Now Jonathan is a petty little punk bitch because he's jealous of his brother. And I'm like, I didn't think it would flip, but I like Jordan more now. And he's about to get the girl and stuff. I'm liking Jordan more than Jonathan.
As someone who hasn't seen the show, I can't give it a rating, which is nothing, and nothing is 0. So that's what I give this CW show.
Okay, fantastic. Watch the Snyder Cut, dude.
Yes,
it's better than the MCU. Anyway,
the way you said it, he's like unsure of it.
Okay, that quip was very reminiscent of an MCU quip. That's an MCU quip. Hey, you know what?
There are no jokes on Nerdman's Hot Takes Tuesdays. No quips, no jokes. This is deadly serious all the time.
So
the channel has stakes.
I even have dark lighting. Have you ever noticed dark lighting for my to as a homage to the DCEU?
Can I add something important to this? AMBW actually, I searched it. It means Asian man, black woman, and there's a couple community online with AMBW as their go-to hashtag.
Oh right, Asian man, black woman.
AMBW.
Interesting. Okay, interesting. All right. I might switch that up a little bit, but anyway, to my favor, of course. But yeah, apart from that, guys, please do subscribe. Chillmonger, can we put your thing in the chat, and then or if you send it to me in the private, I can put it in the chat.
Just search Chillmonger, you'll find me.
Chillmonger, search Chillmonger, you'll find him. SSJK.Sanctum. Why that name is beyond me, but he's got a tight channel though, dude. That was so hard. When I was trying to subscribe to you, I was trying to remember you because I was like, oh, I really like that guy's, opinions and shit. And I'm looking for K Dot. I couldn't find shit. And then I had to like search around to like figure out who exactly you were in the beginning.
If you type in K Dot, you're gonna find Kendrick Lamar's like music and stuff because that's his alter ego and stuff. So if you just type in K Dot, you're going to just find Kendrick Lamar stuff.
Cool. All right. Sorry, super wise as well. Stay super wise. Do you want to like tell them about your channel quickly?
I do Marvel, DC, Star Wars content daily. Follow me on Twitter at SuperwiseJohn. Do a lot of great content. Thanks for having me on, Nerdman.
No problems, man. Guys, I'm out of here. Just subscribe, share, give me a high five, smash the like button, and of course, comment. I love the comments. Tell me what you thought of the Loki show. Tell me what you thought of Superman and Lois. And what else to say? I'll see you on the flip side. I love you 3000. Peace.